every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars.
Velocity can feel it. Velocity have done it. 3-2. They take the grand finals and are your undisputed champions.
Shivy, he's got to do something about it. The spike is ticking, but wrap up with the triple kill to end it off. Your champions are Team Tamelas. Hey guys, and welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Challenger Series 4, powered by Ideapad Gaming and AMD. We have ACT as our fiber partner and AFK Gaming as our media partner. It's a new day. We are so happy to be back, and it is the start of the semi-finals in the upper bracket. And today, for the first half, we are going to have Reckoning Esports versus Tryouts. My name is Apollonia. I'll be your host and caster, and joining me today is Aggressive, caster, and analyst. So before we get into the action, let's head over to the map veto screen. Aggressive, how are you feeling about today?
This matchup is going to be really interesting. Both teams
Oh
coming
yeah.
out massive, going into this far into the tournament, going into the semifinals. That is incredible. Reckoning Esports and Tryouts, both of these teams have gone through the top dogs of the last series, being Godlike and being Team Tamelas. Tryouts knocking out Team Tamelas and Reckoning Esports knocking down Godlike to the lower brackets, and finally Tryouts finishing them off. Both teams have a lot to live up to, taking down those two big names. And now, in a head to head matchup, I really want to see what they're going to be bringing down to the table.
All right, and we see here starting on the side of attack, that is going to be Tryouts, and on the side of defense, Reckoning Esports. Now, what is really cool is that both these teams has kind of created a massive name for themselves, solely because Reckoning Esports, we saw them debut together as a team in the TEC Challenger Series 3, and now they're back here in Series 4, and they've been undefeated all the way up to the semifinals. And for Tryouts, this is pretty much their debut as a team, and they've made it this far. It is absolutely nuts. Reckoning Esports and Tryouts, I'm pretty sure they have gained a whole lot of new fans. And, they are such a treat to watch. But we do see Whip there.
Choose
He
your
is
agent.
going to take the Sova and Ghost on that trusty Jet. I do recall some very flashy plays coming out from him. And it seems like, yep, Sova and Jet, they are two very good agents here on Bind. Um, what other agents do you think are very key be to be able to kind of push out that strategy that you want on this particular map? Because it's a bit of an interesting map.
An interesting map indeed, and a lot of people used to pick up Killjoy before the nerfs came into her, but at the same time, with the new nerfs, Killjoy is not really that good when it comes to the flank watching potential and much more towards the post plant scenarios. So the way that the attacker to defender side is going to be favored is going to be picking up that cipher over the Killjoy. And yes, before we on the picking screen, we did see that the cipher was actually picked up over the Killjoy, and both teams have the exact same composition coming out. And this composition is a tried into composition. But personally, it's my personal pick to always have one flash on the team. That's just me. But when you're a really coordinated team, you don't even need the flash because you do have the Omen paranoia to open up a lot of these sites. But at the same time, it is going to be really difficult because without a flash, you need to rely a lot more on the coordination, and one mistake in checking an angle will just be your downfall.
In this matchup, it's going to be which team will pull off the composition better, because it's exactly the same. And that's going to be Ghost drawing first blood with a headshot onto Iron with that Ghost. Very nice accuracy there, and Ghost looking for his second frag. Down at 82 HP, and he connects that headshot, and Rio will take him out. But Reckoning Esports not off to a great start as Tryouts. They're trying to make themselves known. Only one man down. There's still 4 men strong, and Rio finds one. Wimp is going to get the return kill, and it's all down to BRZ, who is taking his little time there on the B side. A lot of havoc happened on A, and we can see that the spike will make its way there for the plant, but a very good beginning for Tryouts.
Riots were able to take a lot of ground really quickly, with of course Ghost getting that double kill was the helm of it all. And I have to give it to the Omen easy to push up that A short angle to take the entirety of the control away from the side of Reckoning Esports. Him getting that one kill, making a lot of noise on A short, and then immediately we see a pick coming out from Ghost. And Reckoning Esports, I do understand that they wanted to take a very aggressive control of showers, but at the same time, you are leaving your person on A very, very exposed. And it's going to be BRZ trying to go in for this clutch, but at the same time, we know what Tryouts can do. They're going to be tapping away, being able to take out BRZ. But back to the point I was trying to put out, Reckoning Esports, I love the idea of them trying to take a aggressive shower control, but you're giving up a lot when it comes to being inside of the site. And if your A short player dies, it's just all over. You don't have a safety net to work with. And with the first member going down from the side of showers, the fact that Raze actually pushed in deeper into showers to try and take further control was, I would say, the downfall of Reckoning Esports trying to go in for that trade. So some things were left to be found when it came to that pistol round, but of course that was the pistol round going into the eco round. So let us see what Reckoning Esports are going to be bringing down to the table.
All right, we have Vexy here. He has definitely made headlines on the Rays. We don't usually see very flashy plays coming out from him. But one thing is that he has pure raw aim, and that is a sign of very high mechanical skill. Definitely a key component to Tryouts. The underdogs here on the side of attack. It is pretty amazing to see that, they've come in and they're able to just adapt. I did hear that, a few of the members, they're not all that well versed in Valorant, but they are in FPS games. So, you can see that experience come through. And the pure synergy coming out from these 5 members is just absolutely nuts. And that's going to be Ezzy finding the first kill onto Trist. And this opens a window of opportunity for the attackers to go for a plant onto the A site. All of the defenders, they are rotating. Ezzy just setting out the dark covers. setting his team up for success.
30 seconds left.
Vexy, he will be lurking on the B side as he finds the second kill onto BRZ.
planted.
Shark will get that spike planted, and now he's gonna just move around, gotta take out that recon bolt. Don't want your positions to be compromised. 72 HP. But Reckoning Esports, they lose 3 members, and Rio will find a kill onto Ezzy. And that brings it down to a 2v3 as Vexy finds Rio. Iron picks up a kill for himself, and Wimp wraps it up. That's gonna be the first 2 rounds for Tryouts.
That was really nicely done coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports, I would say, going into the eco round, being able to take out 3 members with only just your classic pistols was a well-played round indeed. They got a lot of money in the bank and a lot of damage being done economically towards the side of Tryouts as well. And if they win this buy round, they are guaranteed to force Tryouts to go into a save round, of course. So this is where it all matters. We all know that the buy rounds coming after those eco rounds is where the momentum is actually going to be shifting. So let us see what Reckoning Esports are actually going to be bringing down to the table, because if they lose this buy round, it's going to be all over. And already we're seeing a heavy push coming out from that B-long side, and already the first member going down is going to be BRZ. Sorry, Ray.
Now this is going to be the buy rounds. Ezzy finding another kill. Reckoning Esports seem to be struggling here. Tryouts very comfortable on bind. And, you know, this happens when you're looking at different maps, different teams really excel. Now for Tryouts, at least on the side of attack, they are doing pretty fine. They're going to get that spike planted. And usually, you know, looking at the course of the Challenger series, attack on bind is usually where most teams struggle. But for Tryouts, they're proving that it's not going to bother them all that much. But Reckoning Esports, let's see what they're going to do to answer back. Trist on the Omen. Very much ready, but they are going to go for a save instead. Trist and BRZ. So, understandable. Tryouts with 5 members standing. I don't think there is quite a chance, a 2v5 situation. But what do you think it is that Reckoning needs to do here on the side of defense to try and, you know, get a little bit of their own momentum going, pick up their first few rounds?
First thing that we have to talk about is exactly how Tryouts are playing. The fact is that Reckoning as a team, they love to push and aggressively. Tryouts, they have seen this and again, coming out from that first round immediately when they saw a very fast push coming out from the shower side. When you lose that shower fight, and you already told your opponent, hey, we love to push in aggressively, that push coming out from that B long side is not really going to work out on the defensive half. You do not have a flash in your hands to actually do what you need to do as a team to go in for these aggressive pushes. On defense, when you want to be aggressive, you need to have a flash. And Reckoning, they need to just play a bit more defensively. If they try to push in too deep, too fast, it's not really going to be working out for them because they don't have anything to like use as a leeway to take map control without just immediately dying after taking a peek. No flashes do cause that over and over again. And Reckoning, if they want to turn this around, they need to adopt a different style. They need to play it slower. They need to play in for those retake scenarios. And that is where they're going to be winning it all out. But it's going to be BRZ creeping around from that elbow side. Wim, though, throwing on the shock darts, delaying any sort of push that he can. But BRZ is probably going to take first contact really soon. But Wimp is way too quick coming out. It's going to be Razor with his own paint grenades to clean it all up. And ladies and gentlemen, the spike is going to be going down real shortly. Let's see who comes out on top.
Now Trist picks up a kill for himself. Reckoning Esports looking to bounce back. And the spike is about to be planted. Ghost here just taking quite an offensive position. Ezzy with the Hunter's Fury. Trist will find a kill, and this is exactly what Reckoning Esports needs. But Razor's gonna lose his life. It's down to a 2v2 as Ezzy finds a triple kill onto Ion. He's looking for the next member, but Ghost will pick that up. Tryouts, they managed to save that round by a hair. And Reckoning Esports, that went wrong so quick for them. They had the man advantage, but they've got to be a little bit cleaner when it comes to, you know, communication, coordination, because Tryouts, they're very much ready to take their heads.
I agree with that. It seems as though there was a huge gap when it came to the communication of Reckoning Esports. What I would have done personally, and this is what Reckoning should have done, I believe, that wait for the spike plant. I understand you want to get in, you want to prevent the spike plant, you want to prevent that extra ult charge, extra money to come through. But at the same time, if you just played it a bit slower, you could have come out on top in that engagement. And losing that round is gonna be a huge blow for your side because now you're forced onto half buys with only half shield. But BRZ, he's already up to the challenge. He knows that two members are there. He gets that first headshot. He's trying to go in for the spray on the goals, but goes way too quick with that headshot. It's gonna be able to take him out. 1-for-1 trades are coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports, but with the Hunter's Fury trained and ready, straight onto the body of Ion. He needs to make a run for attack, down to 45 HP. He needs to run back and Tryouts. They have side control soon enough.
Now Ezzy looking to pop that ultimate. He's going to get right into heaven on a site. And as a very offensive position, that is going to come in massive. The rotations are coming in. Razor gets taken out by Shark. Triss there to return the kill. Rio will find Ezzy. Looks like that ultimate didn't prove to be too useful there. Wimp looking for a kill, and he will get the spike planted, but he's got to wait for his buddy. And Wimp is going to get sandwiched. Where is the Jet when he needs him? And there it is. Ghost will find the kill, but Wimp can't hold on any longer. It's down to a 1v2. Reckoning Esports, they might just have their first round. The defenders are working to their best possible potential. Ghost looking for the kill, and he's just gonna spray. But there it is. Rio wraps that up with a beautiful triple kill. 20 seconds to spare. Easy defuse. Reckoning Esports, they will take their first round.
The way Reckoning Esports played that round, the way that they made the rotations really quickly, and the way they went in for the retake scenario was playing it slow, playing it tactically. And of course, there were some mistakes coming out from Tryouts as well that allowed Reckoning to do this. For example, the time that Easy started to push up the CT side instead of taking proper side control really did hurt them the most. When I was looking at the minimap, I already saw that Easy was pushing up into CT to take a hyper-aggressive position, but then got caught out by Rio making that push, and that is what's gonna get in the most. But Razor, he goes in for the showstopper with the satchel play, but it really didn't work out for him. But it seems as though Shark Ape, he's just way too quick for him. Takes him out with a well-placed headshot, and they're looking to close it all down. They are mad that they're gonna be going through Vexy, going in for his own satchel plays, uses everything to get in, and side control has been established with Easy planting the bomb, and a retake scenario going into a 4 versus 5.
Rio just spraying, trying to get a bit of damage right onto Tryouts. Now with the man disadvantage, they've got to play their cards right. The Paranoia does connect onto 3 defenders. Well placed buys Tryouts a little bit of time. And we do see Ion with the operator. He is gonna try and take some shots. Triss onto site. He sprays. Gonna pick up Vexy. Rio, Ghost, Wimp. They all find kills. Reckoning Esports is down to a 1v2. Shark, he's gonna linger there right in hookah. Ion's going for the defuse, but not quite as Wimp. Triple kill to end that round off. And Tryouts is just carrying out all their plans of attack very well. I do like their post-plant positions. If you do take a look at the minimap, Vexy is right in the corner there. You have some in the garden, in hookah. So they're spread out. And if they do see a defender, they are likely to catch their opponent in a crossfire. And that is ultimately what you want to do after you plant the spike. So the way Tryouts are executing this is absolutely brilliant. As for Reckoning Esports, you know, it might take quite a number of rounds for them to kind of get a feel of what these attackers are about. But the time should be now for Reckoning Esports to start raking up some rounds for themselves.
I would say personally, the main issue that I see coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports, yes, of course, there's the adaptation, the slower adaptation. And Reckoning Esports, like the way they play, I understand, but at the same time, you don't really have a lot to open up the enemy for your very aggressive plays. For example, I understand Razor going in for the showstopper play. Not everyone can do that, but at the same time, it's gonna be one of those things you need to keep an eye out for. You jumping in with that showstopper without any form of backup, no one's gonna be able to trade you, and those small mistakes are gonna be costing them a lot when it comes to coming into these forward rounds. So need to play it slower, and I keep on saying it over and over again: slower is better. And Ghost, he's opting to throw away the operator, knowing that he didn't get that first pick. Really smart, throwing it in such a position that none of the enemy teams are going to be able to find that. Vexy using the pain shells to block off any form of a push coming out from the CT side. It's going to be Triss going down to the hands of Easy. Ghost taking out one as well, and Wimp, he takes a double kill from the side onto Elbow as well to clean it all up. 1 and 6 is the round for the side of Tryouts. And ladies and gentlemen, this is such an explosive performance coming out from them. Every single micro play, every single macro play is just so clean and so pristine that I love the way they strategize. Two on long side, two on hookah. They push in together. They use their abilities. They clear off every single angle. So they don't even have to check anything because they know for a fact that their teammates are already clearing it all up as they're gonna be moving forward.
Wimp very much looks on form today, and Tryouts, they picked up 4 kills in a matter of 3 to 5 seconds. It was really quick, and I think it speaks volumes on their communication. They're very aware of their surroundings, and when they do get that info, they'll relay it as quick as possible. Now Wimp just dashing out that owl drone. He did get a little bit of information. Ezzy looking here on A short. We do see a very aggressive push from BRZ there from Showers, but he's just gonna pull it back a notch. Now Tryouts taking it a step at a time. I would like to see Reckoning Esports go for a more aggressive approach. For some time on the side of defense. I do feel they could actually catch Tryouts off guard. Now this is Ghost here with the trusty op, another big investment, and they have to make this work. Now you see how the shock darts and the paint shells, they all
Oh my
are...
god.
They
If you
toss
went-
them
30
into
seconds left.
they toss them into corners just to check, just to get that info, and
Planted.
that's really good, I would say. Now Wimp will find the kill to BRZ. Rio, the recon bolt gets a little bit of info. Rio, he's gonna find Wimp, and it's down to a 4v3 as Tryouts might just have dropped the ball here. As he tries to even out the playing field, it's back to a 3v3. And the spike is ticking, so now the timer is against the defenders. Ezzy is just playing out of his mind. This Omen is just picking up frags, and Ghost finds the kill onto Triss. Ayan, he goes for the flick. Pretty close, but he's just gonna back away, and it is worth the save, but he's gotta be careful as Ezzy finds the 3rd kill.
That was just absolutely beautiful coming out from Ezzy. The way he held down the Lamb's angle was just so pristine and just so perfect. And ladies and gentlemen, you have to give it towards the side of Ghost to back up his teammate. He went in for the lurk. He was going around the entirety of market, waiting for any forms of rotation, and he was able to catch Trist off guard, trying to move forward. And that was so well done. And Ezzy, one of the main things that a lot of players don't understand whenever you're dry peeking an operator, it's of course really good to jiggle, but good operator players, they hold at such an angle so that they can hit the jiggle. Sometimes going in for those wide swings gives you such a big advantage in a lot of these rounds that we know him as a player to hit a lot of nutty flick shots, but when you mess up a person's pre-aim, when you mess up what they're going to be predicting, you can easily go in for a lot of these plays. And Ion, being in that high pressure scenario, was not able to hit that shot, but Easy, they didn't really make it easy for him either, going in for that wide swing instead of the jiggle peak to get that one off onto him. And that is the level of play that they're going to be bringing down onto this table. 1 and 7 is the scoreline, and they're trying to push down onto this A side, but a hyper aggressive push is already coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports.
He finds the first kill once again. Who is this man? Playing absolutely out of his mind in a very aggressive Omen, very much fitting. Considering the Trials, you know, they've already got 2 duelists, and it's always great to get a controller, provides a lot of utility. And now we're reaching the last few rounds of the first half. Trials with a huge dominating performance. That's gonna be Wimp
30 seconds
finding
left.
the kill onto Triss, then Vexy will secure the plant.
Spike planted.
Now Rio,
Right here.
he's with his buddies, BRZ, Ayan. They're trying to make the best out of this situation, but it is an eco round for Reckoning Esports. Gonna try and get the economy up, secure the last few rounds, so they can
One enemy
look for a
remaining.
comeback. But Ezzy and Shark is going to pick up the last 2 kills. Now that is going to be a 7-round lead. Tryouts over Reckoning. Now, if you are telling me or asking me, what are your predictions for today? My prediction was honestly gonna be 3 games, but I have no idea who is gonna win. And looking at this, I kind of thought that, you know, Reckoning Esports, it might be a little bit of a more of a seesaw situation where one team takes a round, the other team takes a round. But Tryouts, they are exceeding all expectations and performing so great on the side of attack on Bind, which is kind of puzzling, but it's great to see.
When I think of tryouts, like we already talked a lot about this, like who was gonna be taking this prediction one, and I did say tryouts because when I did cast their previous games and when I saw what they did against Godlike, I saw a team that was literally one of the top tier teams, easily hands down. And Reckoning Esports, I understand that they're an extremely exceptional team as well, but their team play is not onto that level or yet that I saw coming out from tryout. And when we analyze a lot of these situations, you can see that as well coming out from this game. Statistically, it seems as though tryouts they have the bigger advantage when it comes to a lot of these. Reckoning Esports, they're not showing a lot of confidence in their plays. Instead, tryouts, they're just booming with their own confidence. They know exactly how the team's gonna play. They know exactly what kind of plays they're gonna be expecting coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports. And they're adapting and trying out new strategies every single time. There's no single or one strategy that they're employing over and over and over again. And that is what's hitting Reckoning Esports the hardest. They are not able to adapt. They're not even given the chance to move forward and try and be like, hey, maybe we can actually take them down this way or that way. They try to employ a counter strategy, but the second strategy just immediately counters their counter strategy. So it's just a game about counters and tryouts. They're actually coming out on top because they're just one-upping Reckoning when it comes to these team play and coordinated fights.
You know, when we talk about versatility and spontaneity from teams where, you know, they can make plans on the fly just to adapt to that particular situation, we haven't seen Reckoning Esports kind of go for a more aggressive stance. We could see it now with Razor and BRC lurking in hookah. But, you know, sometimes teams will just pull off random pushes. They'll go really aggressive, pick up a couple of frags, and it proves to be useful. But Reckoning, they're going to just, you know, sit back and tryouts. Their play style is mainly to get a pick off or two, then push the site. Or if they don't get a pick off, they're going to use their abilities very strategically to get that advantage. And Ian finds the kill onto Ghost. And this could be a turning point for Reckoning Esports. Wimp, 1-for-1 trade. Now Trials down to their last 3 members. Ezzy with the spike here. He's going to push A shot once again. Definitely a total terror when it comes to this. The paranoia does connect onto the 2 attackers. And Ezzy will get the spike planted. Does have his buddies for backup. Vexy tosses in that nade. Might get a little bit of damage off. Ezzy finds the kill onto Razor. This is going to be massive because now it's down to a 3v3. And Tryouts could potentially look to secure this round, but Reckoning Esports, what will they do in a situation like this? They can't afford to give up any more rounds because once Tryouts reaches double digits, it's going to be really hard for Reckoning themselves to kind of come back because it's going to be so close to the 13 scoreline. And Vexy with a very good bit of prediction there with the showstopper. He's gonna spray and Triss picks him up. It's all down to Shark. Last man standing, he sprays. He's still spraying. Will he find a kill? He does! And that is a clutch double kill for Shark. Time and time again, he just steps up as a Cypher, showing that he has his aim to rely on because Cypher is a very utility-based agent. He is like a support. His abilities are to get information. So when it comes to the duels, it's just pure aim. And we have seen Shark in very high pressure situations like this where he's able to keep his calm and pull off something like that.
The way Shark played that was super smart as well. The way you put it, he of course has the incredible aim, but his game sense was so pristine as well, making sure that he used Vexy as a contact point. And no one really would play on that shower angle because initially you didn't know, you won't really check that angle when the spike is planted in such a position. You would expect the last 2 remaining members to stack up together on one side, but Tryouts, they're gonna be one-upping the entirety of Reckoning Esports moving forward just because of how they play that round. But immediately we're gonna be seeing a heavy push. We'll talk about that round later, but a heavy push is already coming out from the entirety of Reckoning Esports. And already we're gonna be seeing a lot of bodies dropping out. 3 members have gone down from the side of Tryouts, meaning leaving the last 2 remaining members to try and clutch this one out. But at the same time, it is gonna be super difficult. But you want these 2 players to be in this clutch scenarios being Vexy and Shark Game.
And you can see here Vexy looking in one direction, and so is Shark. It's really good bit of movement there, just watching the backs of your buddies. Vexy, he's gonna toss in that nade. He knows he's got somebody cornered there. Razor
30 seconds left.
dropped extremely low. BRZ looking for that opportunity, but Shark, he's gonna keep his mind focused. They heard the audio cue. They know somebody is there, and that Cyber Cage is just gonna confirm it. Vexy will find a kill. He finds a double. This is Vexy, 14 HP left, and he does have the spike. He
left.
is gonna go for the plant. Now Shark here for the backup. He sprays. This is how you play a team game.
I know exactly.
Tryouts. They have single-handedly shown an immense amount of teamwork, and it is absolutely nuts to watch. Now BRZ, last man standing. The Neural Theft was dropped, and he does have a little bit of time to work with, but it's still going down. And Shark, he appears at the right time, secures that kill. Now, that was nuts.
Switching sides.
At every moment, you could see just such intelligent decisions on how to move and how to carry out this kind of situation. And, you know, we watch a lot of teams here. A lot of teams are great in many different aspects, but when it comes to just pure movement, Tryouts has to be pretty up there.
Tryouts are not just pretty up there, they are absolutely up there, Oppo, because you have to give it to this
You're
team
flattering them.
the way that they're moving, of course, but of course credit is due where it is due, because Tryouts, the way they played this round was so expertly done, and they were capitalizing on the thing that Reckoning Esports does best. They're capitalizing on their aggressive plays, their own confidence. I understand that Reckoning, they built up their confidence and they're like, hey, we can't do this. Let's do it as a team. Let's move forward. They were making a plays like that, but already you can see something very different. If we look at the scorecards already, if we can pull up the scorecards, I'm going to be pointing out something that is extremely beautiful. Look at the buys coming out from the side of Tryouts. 3 guys with classics and half shields. This is, and 2 ghosts only. This is a new type of strategies that has been coming into Valorant when it comes to the pistol rounds. You only have 2 people on the ghost and not everyone. And why is this strategy really powerful? This allows you to play for a lot more of those straight fight duels. You can go in, you can put yourself up as a shield for your teammate as a ghost. You take a 1 headshot, but you're not gonna die, and your teammate just instantly dinks him in the head if you miss your shot with a classic. And this allows you to take a lot more of those scrappy gunfight type duels when you're in those close proximities. And this is what Tryouts is really starting to do. It's gonna be Vexy coming in with the classic, being able to take out one. Whip takes it down another one from the side. Easy though takes one onto Ion, but Easy, he's looking out from one and left, right, and center. The body's just gonna be dropping down for the entirety of Reckoning Esports. Easy cleans it up with the last kill from the side as well. And Tryouts, the way they played that round was just so beautiful. And just as I said before, Vexy, him having that armor allowed him to survive all of the brunt of damage that was coming out from the entirety of Reckoning Esports. Him taking that first kill and immediately with Wim answering back with his own classic. This is what you need to do when it comes to these defensive rounds. And I have not seen any other team bring this down onto the table just as Tryouts did. And Reckoning going 1-12, they need to try and bring it back when it comes to this round or into the next round.
You know our favorite saying, you gotta call a spade, and this is pretty much a demolishing here. Reckoning Esports, they are falling, and Razor loses his life. It's a little bit uncharacteristic of Razor. And Tryouts, on the side of defense, they just look so comfortable. They're gonna push their lead, and this could be the last round for Reckoning Esports. BRZ, he will secure the plant. AZ just taking a spray, does get tagged. Down to 69 HP. Wimp, Vexy, Shark, they're all gonna pick up a kill. And it's down to the last man. And that is actually a wrap. Tryouts, they are gonna take map number 1 with a beautiful score of 13 is to 1. Flawless, in fact. Where did Tryouts just come from? I mean, I think everybody was taken by surprise, but this team, I think they're here to stay because that was phenomenal. Right down to the T. When you look at every component, this team has it. And it is refreshing to definitely see. Reckoning Esports, it was not like them at all here on Bind, but they do have 2 other maps to work with, and this is still the upper bracket. So guys, remember it is still also a double elimination. So if you are supporting Reckoning Esports or Trials, if they don't make it over today, they still will move over to the lower bracket, and we are streaming every single game. But congratulations to Trials for taking map number 1, and let's head over to relive the moment to talk a little bit more about the game. It is brought to you by Ideapad Gaming 3 notebook, powered by 4000 series Ryzen processors, perfect for gaming and multitasking. So, on the topic of Reckoning Esports, very uncharacteristic considering that, we've seen Reckoning kind of wreck the competition all the way up to the semifinals. They've pretty much gone undefeated up till now. Solely last series, they did get a taste, they got that experience, and now they came back with a vengeance. But Tryouts, this being their first series, they are really, they've done many things to upset many other teams. So they knocked out Team Camillas, and that was a huge upset. And now they just demolished Reckoning Esports here. 13 is to 1. I mean, summarize everything that Tryouts pulled off, which Reckoning should have as well, just to have a better fight.
The one thing that Reckoning did in a lot of these scenarios was go in for a lot of the solo plays. I've seen this over and over again. Reckoning, they are a team that have the mechanical capabilities, they have the confidence, but going for these solo plays against a team like Tryouts, and Tryouts, their strategies remind me of NA Valorant, because we have seen from the other regions coming out from the other sides that the agency was not yet built for those kind of strategies, and Tryouts, they're bringing those strategies down in the table and showing it to our region that what we can do when we adopt two strategies and bring them into one. I see a lot of their buys coming out very differently as well from other teams, really going in for the goals, going in for the classics and the shields instead, to just showcase that, hey, this is a new type of discount strategy that's really working out, so we can put that in our favor. And the way they played those rounds as well was just so beautiful, waiting it out, playing the clock exactly, using their abilities to flush out one corner, not even checking that corner anymore, because they know for a fact that there's no one's gonna be even staying there. They have that confidence that, hey, if we check this corner, that's done. We don't need to check it ever again. They check another corner, that's done. And Team Reckoning Esports, I understand what you're wanting to do with a lot of your plays, with a lot of your decision making, but at the same time, when you are playing it like this, you're not playing a solo game. You're going to be playing a team game. And Tryouts, they just played the better team game Valorant in comparison to the side of Reckoning Esports, giving them such a dominant win, being 1-13. Reckoning, they need to bring their A game going into this next map, or it's going to be one other horrendous loss.
Indeed, Reckoning Esports, they still have a chance to come back. It is a best of 3. So we're going to take a little break and prepare for map number 2. Meanwhile, we have a great announcement for you guys. So Series 5 registrations are now live. Links are in the description. So grab your buddies and join in on the action, which will kick off very soon. And we also have a massive sale on LG monitors. So do check that out if you want to buff your setup. And we will go for the small break, so don't go anywhere. Grab a snack. We'll see you guys very shortly.
so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. Let's make the most of this night. Come on, baby, take my hand. And we don't need to do the things we don't want to do. Baby, while we're young,
Velocity can feel it. Velocity have done it. 3-2. They take the grand finals and are your undisputed champions.
Shivy, he's gotta do something about it. The spike is ticking, but wrap up with the triple kill to end it off. Your champions are Team Tamelas.
Keep them cornered.
Yo, we'll spot one out. Not gonna get the kill just yet. He's spraying with
Get out of my city.
the pistol up, but Inferno changes up the position.
Let's crack them open.
Momentum shift, Reckoning Esports, they are thriving with it.
Wait until I blind them to strike.
Oh guard from that angle. Careful, might have
Tear them down.
Razor finds the kill, and that's gonna be a double kill. Gonna go for this push. It could be all over for Atmosphere. If Bones clutches this, it's gonna be one for the books. And there it is, Bones taken down by IQ. Reckoning Esports, they make their way over to the quarterfinals in the upper bracket.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Challengers Series 4, powered by Ideapad Gaming and AMD. We have ACT as our fiber partner and AFK Gaming as our media partner. Welcome back. We are ready with map number 2, and we saw a very explosive map 1 where Tryouts took it for themselves. So this is a best of 3. We're still in the upper bracket of the semifinals. So it is double elimination. Either team that doesn't make it, they still have another chance. So for all you fans, not to worry at all. Let's head over into the map veto screen and see which map will be coming up. Now, Aggressive. It was an extremely amazing game to watch. I will say that Tryouts really dominated Reckoning Esports with a scoreline of 13-1 on Bind. That is bad. Now for Ascent. You know, looking and thinking about what we can expect here on Ascent, it is a map that, you know, there's a lot of long range duels and whatnot. How do you think this is going to turn out here, specifically map 2?
Reckoning Esports, with their track record, they have a really good record here, especially on this map. And we all know that Razer has the biggest track record with those jiggle picks. Like, you call him the Jigglypuff for a reason. So those was just absolutely beautiful peaks coming out from him. And I really want to see him bring that level of confidence down to the table. That
Oh,
first
yeah.
map left a lot to be desired for coming out from the side of Reckoning. And they need to try and redeem themselves with this map. A 13-1 scoreline is not something that you want to go out on. And at the bare minimum, you want to try and make it close, make it even. So you have that cushion for yourself that, hey, we have that chance. We can win out this map and then go into the third map moving forward.
Indeed, and Tryouts are like the underdogs, you know. This is their first time here in the Challengers series. It is our 4th series, and out of nowhere, they're just stealing the competition. Now, Reckoning Esports, we know what they're capable of. Let's head straight into the match and have a look at them. But Reckoning Esports, they've had some amazing moments throughout the course of this Challengers Series 4. They made it to the top 8 the last time around. Well, they're back in the top 8. They've definitely made it further. But, you know, let's see if Reckoning has what it takes to go the extra step. Now, starting out on the side of attack is going to be Reckoning Esports. And on the side of defense, it will be Tryouts. Now, 3 defenders stacked up onto a site. Reckoning Esports are looking like they might just go for the plan of attack where, you know, they spread out, slowly conquer a particular area, get some frags, and then go for the push and the spike plant.
They are going to be taking over mid control though this time around, and this will work out in their favor. But after taking mid control, they're not really pushing down into a sideline or into the corridor. This is where something that I love teams to try out, and it seems as though tryouts they already know how Reckoning Esports are going to be moving. It's going to be Razor going in with that first kill coming out from the side, but easy. He takes out Chu. Shark Game takes out another one coming in from the sidelines. It's going to be moving into a 3v2 already, and the plant is going to be going down very shortly in Ion's hands.
Easy. He finds 2 frags before he goes down. Reckoning Esports down to their last 2 members. They've got to make this work. Spike has been planted. Defenders, they've got to go for a retake. Now, if the attackers could circle around here, it would be really smart. Now, Ion's going to find Whip. He's firing away, but Vexy picks him up. And Rio will get the return, but it's down to a 1v1 between Rio and Shark. Not exactly looking in the right spot, but Shark, he's gonna take his time. Rio just playing with the timer, and Shark will spot him out. Need a little bit of composure, and Shark picks up the kill. He'll easily have time to defuse, but Tryouts with an explosive start. Now, this is not the first time we have seen Shark secure a clutch at all. As a Cypher, this man can pull this agent off in attack, and when it comes to defense, he is an absolute monster, and this is just a glimpse of it. But big ups to Shark, he just earned his team the first round of the second map.
But one thing I have to give towards the side of Reckoning is they had a lot more composure and a lot more strategy coming into this round. I understand for a fact that yes, there was one very, very massive mistake, was giving up mid and trying to push in through short. When you know for a fact that you can push in through the garden side, tell your omen, be like, hey, can you give me a dark cover sitting up for that CT angle of B side so we can push up immediately. They can take heaven control, they can take garden control, and then push, send one person through that short side to try and go in for the push. They would have had much more chances to work with, and those small mistakes is going to cost them a lot of the paranoia. It's going to be coming out from the side of Easy, but Trist is able to find that kill onto him. It's going to be Ion going in for the dash in, but he's not going to be able to find one. But RKB comes in massive with that spray, being able to take down every single person with just one clip. Right in his Spectre switches out to the goals, not able to find the last one. It's going to be Wimp to clean it all up. And Tryouts, they're going in explosively. And Reckoning Esports, they're trying to force it in a bit too much instead of playing for the rotations, playing for the map control.
Now the second round, Tryouts here, just pushing that advantage. But this is where it gets spicy, you know. Every time when a match starts, I look forward to round 3. Usually with the full buys, you start to get a little bit of a taste or glimpse into what a team is all about. Now, Ascent as a map, we always feel that, hey, it might be a little bit more defense favored. But teams have proven that, you know, on the side of attack, you still can definitely thrive. But it requires a huge amount of rotations and mind games. You definitely need a lurker. You've got to create chaos. You have to completely play your opponents. Trick them. Don't let them find out where exactly you want to go. Catch them off guard. Pick up those frags. And Easy here. Right onto that. Great. He is going to take a very different approach. He's going to find one kill and look for a teleport, switching up that position. He knows that he's about to be ambushed. He's going to spray away and drop that paranoia back out to peak. But Izzy in the comfort of his A site as he backs away. And this man has been playing like an absolute monster. On the Omen, it allows you to be very aggressive as a controller, and he knows exactly how to pull it off. Now Rio,
left.
he will find the kill onto Wimp. Down to a 3v4 as Ghost chimes in. Now Reckoning Esports, a man down. What will they do in this situation? They still got to attack. But Vexy is right around the corner. He picks up a double. And I do believe the spike has fallen right in front of him. Now it is in a compromised state. BRZ last man standing. He's spraying away. But Easy, he pushed right up into courtyard and picked up that kill. It's almost like Easy appears everywhere on the map.
Easy's really quick, and that is what an Omen should do. His the way he always positioned himself to be in the best possible scenario is just so beautiful. First of all, he went up top on the boxes. He took that off angle and he was able to find that first initial pickoff. And then he immediately went in for the teleport play, waited for Ghost to take first contact so he can take the peak. Even if Ghost dies in that scenario, Easy's already there to clean up one more kill. And immediately we see him taking back short control because he knows for a fact that two members died in market, and the third member was nowhere in sight to go in for a refrag. Allowing Vexy to go back means that he has to be somewhere in mid. And Easy, he was so pristine when it came to the game sense and to the rotations that could come out from the side of Reckoning Esports. He was able to one up them and then change his positions accordingly, just showing his prowess as a player, as an prowess as an Omen player, and as one of those controllers. It's gonna be Wim though, being able to take that first kill. It's gonna be Ghost going in for the space. He's not gonna be able to hit it out, and Razor, he is able to take him down. One gun upgrade does come in favor for the side of Reckoning Esports, but they were not able to pick up the gun with Sharkim holding it down and them losing two members. It's gonna be Tryouts going in for a retake scenario with the A side being stormed into.
Reckoning Esports forced to eco. They've only got a bunch of shares, but Triss picking up a double is just massive in a scenario like this. And Wimp will get the return kill. It's down to a 2v3. The spike has been planted. Tryouts, they gotta go for a retake. They do have superior guns, but I should think that Reckoning Esports does as well, picking up the guns that Tryouts has dropped. Now Vexy just inching in, and BRZ's gonna just one-tap him. That is absolutely nuts. BRZ, thrifty round for Reckoning Esports as they find their mojo again. And that is what I like to see. Man.
That is the Reckoning Esports that we know and love, Oppo. They were able to play that round down to perfection. Every single movement had a purpose. Them going in for the post-run scenarios, them taking down one member at a time. And Tryouts, of course, they had that mistake. They were becoming overconfident, and Ghost dropping himself right then and there was the opening frag that they needed to carry the momentum into the other side. A lot of rotations came out early, and Reckoning Esports were able to capitalize on it, knowing that, hey, Tryouts, they're going to be going for a lot of these aggressive plays. We can use that against them and then take it and then use it to our own advantage. That just goes to show that you should never underestimate your opponents. And Reckoning Esports are just showing why they're one of the best teams in our region moving forward. But still, Tryouts, they have a long way and a long road to go ahead of them. 3-1 is the scoreline, ladies and gentlemen, and it's gonna be a long one.
Take flight.
Now Wimp dropping the owl drone. He's gonna try and look for that information. Not sure if he will be able to get any. He does. He spots two. Now BRZ is gonna find the kill. So does Razor. Looks like a huge momentum shift. Could be in favor of Reckoning Esports there. But Wimp, that shock dart kill right onto BRZ. And Tryouts, every time they look like they're in a pickle, they kind of pull themselves out of their hole. With less than 40 seconds to spare, what will Reckoning Esports do as they linger in the mid courtyard? But we do see the Omen very sneaky, and he
30 seconds
just
left.
will find the kill onto Wimp, and that is what he called mind games. Very good bit of positioning there from Triss, because that just saved Reckoning Esports their economy, and Triss will find another. That is Reckoning Esports looking to bounce back. They will get the spike planted onto the A site. It looks like they went back to the drawing board, regrouped, thought about their plan, and now they are ready with a new mindset. And Vexy will pick up Ion. Will he go for the challenge or will he not? But picking up that up and going for the save, that is very much worth it. And I don't think Reckoning Esports would hunt for him. They might just want to, stay around the spike and just wait for a bit. But this was a very good round for Reckoning Esports.
Reckoning Esports is just showcasing how well versed they are on the map of Ascent, and they're bringing their A game down to the table. Ascent is one of those maps you need to know how to play. You need to know the rotations. You need to know the spots that you need to check constantly, and that is what they're using against the entirety of the side of Tryouts, and that is what's bringing them a lot of these rounds closer down into the table. Spike going down, it is going to be pushing it to a 3-2, but Vexy, he does have the operator in hand going into the defensive half, and Ghost, he's going to be happy looking to find whatever he can get. But at the same time, I think Tryouts should try and play this map a bit more aggressively, because on this map, you don't really need flashes to go in for the peaks immediately because using the damaging utilities, for example, the pain shells can block off a choke point, allowing you to take that close fight angle, go in for the peak, go in for the kills that you need to. And that is what you want to see coming out from these teams. It's going to be Ion getting taken out by Hands of Ghost and Boomboy acting as a perfect distraction to take that kill away. It's going to be easy fighting one of the Razor as well. This is going to hurt a lot as Reckoning Esports. 2 members have already gone down, and Easy, he's able to get out as well with some jiggles. I don't even know, teleport jiggles, I would say, coming out from his side. 2 members have gone down for the side of Reckoning Esports, and Triz goes down as well, leaving them in a 2 versus 5 scenario.
Oh, Tryouts. They locked down on Reckoning Esports so quick. And I particularly like that boom bot and then Jet coming out, getting that kill. But Shark here, he's going to find BRC. Rio does pick up easy, but Ghost there comes back in with the operator. And that will be the 4th round for Tryouts. Now, this is indeed an extremely, I feel it's going to be extremely close. I think there's going to be a lot of back and forth. It's not going to be an outright stomping like in map number 1, solely because Reckoning Esports, they're way more comfortable on Ascent. And as for Tryouts, I'm going to assume that they are comfortable on everything because their performance has been near flawless. And it is just absolutely nuts. Let's just pull up that scoreboard, and now we see Shark there with 7 kills on the side of defense. Wimp is going to fall. We do see Triss trying to carry a little bit of the pressure from Reckoning, but Ghost, he's gonna find one as well, and it's down to this 4v4.
4v4 scenario is one of those things that it is an even matchup, but it's much more difficult for the defensive side. Losing that 1 member does open up another angle that you have to check, putting a lot more pressure on your team. And Reckoning, they need to try and make use of that for in their favor to try and force out whatever they can. They are trying to establish mid control, though, this time around. This is what they're going to be needing. But Triss, he's already going to be pushed out on the pizza, looking at what items that he can buy while he's chilling out to see if Reckoning Esports are going to be pushing in. The pizza order has been given up as well. And it's just going to be one of those slower rounds. The teams are looking to see what kind of rotations they can find, what kind of plays that they can make. And it's just going to be a rotation going down back into this B side, which is just completely opened up.
left.
No one's really checking there. And this is where Reckoning Esports, they're going to be having that advantage going in their favor.
Indeed, we do see a lurking Izzy. And he might just find a kill. He comes out of the smoke.
Oh my God!
Too quick! That is Iron for you with 10 seconds left to spare. The spike has been planted by Reckoning Esports. It's a 4v2 situation. As Tryouts are trying to pick up the scraps, but Triss is going to put a bullet through Ghost. And that will be a round for Reckoning Esports to take. But it was a very good round nonetheless. And, there were 3 ultimates very readily available for the side of Tryouts. They didn't choose to use it. And one thing that, we kind of see a lot when it comes to the competition getting heavier in the higher tiers of the tournament, like the quarterfinals, semifinals, is that the moment the ultimate is up, teams who are usually very successful, they'll use it right off the bat. They'll just make use of it and try to get it charged up once more, at least in the first half. So, you at least get a good usage of 2 ultimates in 1 half. And Tryouts here, now they've got 4. Let's see what they're going to do with this and if they're going to utilize that to try and get back up on the board with their 2-round lead.
Do have that potential in them, of course, and it seems as though Tryouts, they're much more lost on this map in comparison to the side of Reckoning Esports, because we know for a fact that this is one of Reckoning's best maps, easily one of their best maps coming forward into this matchup. So Tryouts, they're facing superior map knowledge, and even though Tryouts, they have a lot of strategies that they can work with, at the same time, they need to have similar or exactly the same amounts of map knowledge moving forward to try and execute those plans. And it seems as though Reckoning Esports, they know exactly how tryouts are going to be playing, how they're going to be taking a lot of these fights. They're going to be taking the engagement. It's going to be Easy going up against Razor, but Easy comes out on top of that engagement, being able to get that first headshot. Easy takes one bullet to the knee, but he's going to be able to survive, and it already pushing it down to a 5 versus 4 scenario. And Vexy, he's taking a very aggressive peek. He's waiting for Ion to make it in. So let's see who comes out on top in this engagement.
Now this is going to be Ghost lingering. Vexy here, waiting patiently in B main. He does have the showstopper. He's going to spray. Ion misses the shot, but BRZ is there to back him up. And this is quite a bit of a blunder there for Tryouts as Reckoning Esports. They're looking strong here on the side of attack. Tristan is going to take out Easy. And Reckoning Esports, 4 members strong. Last guy standing on the side of defense is going to be Ghost. Has the Blade Storm in hand. But I don't think he's gonna take this fight. Triss is a madman. He's looking for the kill, and Ghost misses the shot. Triss turns around, picks up that triple. Man, Triss is definitely on form. He is feeling his vibe, and that was a round that he definitely secured for Reckoning Esports.
It seems like Triss was doing a vibe check on Ghost, and he's like, nah, the vibe check is clear, not clear. You're not vibing. And Triss be like, yeah, I got a headshot for you because you ain't vibing with me. Takes him out with that instant 180 turn flick. And that is all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. An amazing round coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports. Being able to hold it down, play it slow, go in for the rotation plays while taking mid control, while forcing Tryouts to try and make sure that they stay on that mid, evening up the scoreboard as well, taking it to a 4-4. They're looking very strong on this map, finally forcing Tryouts into that eco round. And let us see what they exactly are going to be bringing down to the table, because the loss streak is going to be activating up. So the next round is going to be another buy round. And if they're able to win it out, they are going to be able to take the lead against Tryouts on this map. And Reckoning, I love the way that they're bringing out new ideas down to the table. They're playing as a team finally, and this is what I wanted to see out of them.
Now Wimp is gonna whip out that Hunter's Fury. He's looking for a kill. He does tag one, and he gets the killing blow onto Razor. Wimp just stepping up, and Tryouts can definitely take this and go with it. Now Shark here with the revolver in hand. That's the Sheriff. He's gonna meet his clone, and BRZ is gonna take him out. It is down to a 4v4 as Easy got a pistol here. Left. And he's... What was that? Easy! He connects the headshot, and so does Rio. BRZ as well, but Tryouts, they might just be struggling here. And that was a beautiful shock dart from Rio as it takes Easy out. Now the last member standing is going to be Vexy, ultimate in hand. He does have the abilities as well, but Rio's just too quick. Takes him out, and Reckoning Esports will find themselves in the lead for the first time in this best of 3 here in the semifinals.
This was the eco round though for the side of Tryouts, but Reckoning, the way they executed that round was so good. They used all their abilities down to the T of perfection, and them coming forward into this matchup just goes to show what they're actually bringing down to the table. And they're showing that, hey, even if you're a team that have a lot of experience when it comes to those raw aiming duels, we're going to show you exactly what knowledge means. And we all know that the pen is greater than the sword, and that is just what the Reckoning Esports are showing us. That yes, we have the knowledge of this map. We are going to be showing you how to exactly play this map when we are playing high-level Valorant. And Tryouts, they're getting a taste of it all, but this is going to be the gun round coming out for the side of Tryouts. So let us see what they're going to be bringing down to the table to even back up the score lines, moving into a 5-5 and then probably into a 6-6. It's like both teams are just going to be going back and forth at this stage because they've already figured out their strategies. And they need to try something new.
Yeah, and this was what I was expecting in the first map, but that didn't go like this. So now we see here on Ascent, and you know, I do find that statistically, Ascent is a map which majority of teams are most comfortable in. So, you know, whenever you see Ascent coming up, you can expect that the games will be much closer.
Now, this is Razor here, very much ready with the showstopper. Is he gonna find a kill? He's
Oh,
just
no.
gonna blindly blast! And that was a good bit of decision making coming out from Razor.
30 seconds
Rio and
left.
BRZ, they're gonna chime in as well. Easy steps in,
Spike planted.
takes out the Cypher. But Reckoning Esports, they secure the plant. 3 members on site, and we do see one lurking in B main. Now, will Tryouts go for the push? They will not. They're just going to hold their own. Considering that Ghost does have that operator, it is very expensive. But, you know, at this level of play, you know, in this competitive scene, teams are more likely to go for the save than go for the risky play, especially when, you know, they're so heavily outnumbered. It would be cool for us to see them, you know, just try it out. And that's going to be Ghost finding the kill onto Rio. A good pickup there. Well, Easy just holding this angle. This is a round for Reckoning Esports to take. 2 rounds in the lead. Looks like Reckoning is back in business.
They're looking to close out a lot. Oh, goddammit, Easy. He nearly had it.
He nearly got him.
He nearly got him at that time. The headshot does not connect. But still, moving back into what happened during the last round. It is going to be Reckoning taking away that round just because of the way they played it. They knew for a fact that, okay, so this is where the map knowledge comes in. They know for a fact that one guy is for sure going to be playing inside a boathouse no matter what. That is one of the tried and true simple strategies that a lot of teams employ.
agree.
And it seems that Tryouts, they do not have very extravagant plans when it comes to this map. It's much more textbook based. And Reckoning Esports, they have a lot more strategies. They are a much more, let's say, experienced team when it comes to Valorant type maps. And this is where we're seeing them shine the most. It's gonna be Easy being taken down as well. And they're using the same strategies over and over again. And Reckoning Esports, they're just punishing the entirety of Tryouts because of that.
Now, this is BRZ. He's gonna pick up the kill on Shark, his clone. And it's a close competition between BRZ and Shark there. You know, if you're taking it personal, Cypher to Cypher. But here we have Ghost on the operator. He's got to be a little bit careful. Rafters is a tricky spot to make use of that sniper rifle, especially in close proximity. But Ghost, he's still going to attempt it. We do see BRZ there. He did pop the Neuro Theft. And Ghost picks up the kill. We do see that it's going to be down to a 2v2 clones versus clones. And Vexy, he finds Razor one more. And that will be Ayan. He's right at low. And oh, that shot goes! Oh my goodness! That was insane!
Was way too quick. Ayan probably fell out of his goddamn chair and hit the floor. You could feel the impact of that shot as soon as the sniper rifle just rang it down, ladies and gentlemen. That was a beautiful shot coming out from the side of Ghost to make sure his spike planter was not to be taken down. And that is the speed of flicks that you can expect coming out from such amazing players. And going into, it's gonna be a 5 and 6, and it seems as though Tryouts, they're already feeling it down. And Ghost, he's at the helm of it all. He has his knives pulled out as well. He wants to close it out, goes in for the play. He's able to take out Ayan. This guy is a sharp shooter, ladies and gentlemen. He finally gets taken out by Rio, but he has to invest Hunter's Fury for that. But 2 members have gone down away from the side of Reckoning Esports. Sharkape, he's running the momentum on PRZ. He's way too quick. Hits a headshot, causes the aim punch to pull him back up. And PRZ, he's coming in massive. He takes 2 kills for himself as well, leaving little old Vexy going into a 1v3 scenario. And ladies and gentlemen, Team Reckoning Esports, they're wanting to fight back, and they're fighting back hard.
They are not happy with how that last round turned out at all. Now Vexy here with the Vandal. He's gonna spray. He finds one. Will he find a second? Not quite, because Trist is gonna take him out. But Ghost is just on fire. And, you know, with this, when you do get amazing plays like that under your belt, that effectively kind of puts you in a good headspace. I think we can expect to see Ghost perform a lot better throughout the course of this match, to say the least. But that was absolutely crazy. 10 kills on the board. Ghost will be leading. And now we have reached the second half. We did end off the first half 7-5, heavily in favor of Reckoning Esports there with the 2-round lead.
But on the scoreboard, everyone is pretty much even. I do see Ion and Razor, the two duelists on the side of Reckoning Esports, not exactly picking up the frags when they started out on the side of attack. So that is a little bit of cause of for concern, solely because the prime goal of the duelists is to get the frags, especially on attack. But now that Reckoning is on the side of defense, let's see if Ion and Razor can find a little bit of a footing. And as for Tryouts, they've got to work together. We want to see the teamwork and strategizing that they pulled off on Bind. Similarly here on Ascent.
One thing you have to say that this map, when it comes to these post-plant scenarios, Reckoning Esports are playing it so smartly. They're going in for the complete retake. And that is where they are going to be taking so much map control away from the side of Tryouts. But 3 members sitting down in hell, that is just a death sentence moving forward. And Tryouts, they're going to be swarmed into. Everyone is dropping down from the side of Evan. 361. Razor takes out another one on the Ghost. And the bodies are just going to be dropping down left, right, and center. It's going to be Vexy, but them trying to push in through the smoke is not going to be working out. As Team Reckoning Esports, they've just chopped them up and thrown them straight into the grinder, into the frying pan. They're just burning up the entirety of Tryouts. 8 and 5 is the scoreline, ladies and gentlemen. And Team Reckoning Esports, they found out how to beat Tryouts and bring them down to their knees, it seems.
Tryouts, they are definitely struggling this time. Reckoning Esports finding that 3-round lead is definitely translating. We can see the huge momentum shift. I did like the way that they defended there on the A side. They looked very calm and they got those pickoffs. And you know, usually when it comes to very fast pushes from attackers, defenders have to be sure that, you know, they stay on their toes and communication gets through, because you got to report the last time you see an attacker so that, you know, your teammates, they'll be prepared, they know what to expect. And if that element doesn't exist, that is why you see defensive retakes kind of fail, because it's just so uncoordinated. But this is going to be another quick push here from the Tryouts. And we do see the dash in from Ghost as he makes his way onto A side. BRZ here on the short beauty. Vexy will secure that plant. It's still a 5v5. This is going to be juicy. Ghost finds the kill onto Razor. And this is going to be a huge round. It seems like a little bit of a force buy coming up from Tryouts. They're not going to go for their eco. BRZ figures that it's time to let himself be known. Coming in hard with his Omen. Easy's gonna fall. BRZ's gonna find that double onto Vexy. Whip picks up one. So does Triss. It's down to a 1v3. Shark is the last man standing. He's gonna spray. He picks up the kill. All you need is composure. The spike is ticking. The dark cover in perfect time.
Oh my
And
God.
Shark! He might just clutch this out. He spots one, but Ion connects that
No
headshot.
time.
But he does not have the time. It's gonna go forward. Ion is caught in the explosion. That is a clutch. Tryouts. They come back in the second round of the second half. That is what you call a very effective force buy. And Tryouts, they didn't come to play. They took the risk and it paid off.
They played that round so well. It was a bit scrappy at the very end of it all, but they played the clock down perfectly. And then again and again, them getting that first pick off with Ghost taking that initial kill just opened up a lot. As you stated before, that one kill going into that retake scenario is gonna change the entire flow, because whenever you want to go for a retake, you want to go in as a team. You want to make sure that every single member is already down into the side before the first body drops, and that is where it's going to be hurting the most. But Razor, he's playing in a very dangerous game. He takes a one with a very hyper-aggressive push, and the cavalry is already here coming in from the backline. But Wim, he goes in with the Bulldog. He hits the shots, and he's able to take out Ion. Sharkim going in for his shot as well. Tags down Rio to very low HP, forcing him back off into the market side. It is going to be Tryouts going into a 2 versus 3 scenario, but they have a lot of information to work with. 2 members on B, 1 member on A, B only the Cypher. Which side are they gonna hit?
This is the reckoning that we wanted to see in map 1. You saw that confidence, you saw the strategy change. They pushed out of mid and into the courtyard and picked up all those kills. 3 members of Tryouts down. And that is essentially what you want to do. Now, Tryouts here, they are going to make their way onto the B side. And I do like the way that Reckoning Esports has spread out their defenses. Sova particularly low. He is
30
going to hang
seconds left.
around with Trist and Wimp here. Shark is gonna find Rio, but they have no clue that there's one more member. What? Trist!
Nothing to win.
That was absolutely great. He didn't make a single sound, not a peep. And that was a thrifty round for Reckoning Esports. This is gonna just get spicier from now on. Maintaining that 3-round lead is gonna be Reckoning Esports. Wow, I think, a bit of a mistake there, Trials. They didn't search the whole area. They thought it was just one man. And you know what was cool? The fact that Shark took out Rio, Triss didn't fire a single shot, so they had no clue that he was there. And I think that was very well played. That is what you call mental warfare.
That is called proper trigger discipline indeed. I completely agree with you that on that side, Oppo. And I love the way Triss played that round as well. I'm just getting those Shibby vibes. Like, we saw Shibby coming out with that massive play back in Series 3. I mean, it'd be like 1 HP, Eagle, and Shibby just coming in from the back end on that split trap to take that clutch away. I've got that vibe. And Trist, he is showing us what he can exactly do. It's gonna be BRZ taking out 2 with his trusty old Spectre. He goes in for the jump in to try and get that one down. The bomb has not yet gone down, but Charkin, he answers back onto 1, but the bodies are just gonna be dropping in left, right, and center with the cavalry coming in. And Tryouts, they seem a bit lost when it comes to this map, because in this map, there's a lot of strategies that you can employ if you have proper mid control. And it seems as the Tryouts, they're not really trying to take mid control whatsoever. And this just goes to show you some of the experience gap that we are going to be facing. On the last map of mine, there was no mid control. There was only 2 sites. So that allowed Tryouts to go for a lot more of the different plays, and they were more comfortable on it. But now that there is a mid site, they're not really utilizing that one lane to its fullest potential, and that is what's hurting them the most. And Reckoning Esports, they're a team that is well known on Ascent. They know their angles, they know their strategies, and they're catching Tryouts off guard from their mid plays, from their side plays, and from their aggressive pushes that are actually working out in their favor this time around.
Indeed, Ascent, this map. I do feel that Ascent being a map that most teams are comfortable with. This is like you mentioned, the experience is definitely getting to Tryouts, because Reckoning Esports, they know this map in and out. They've been in high pressure situations. Whereas when you look at Bind, that is a bit tricky. It's almost like a team either gets it or they don't. And for Tryouts, it's kind of like, yeah, that was a map that they clicked with. But at least here on Ascent, Tryouts has a lot to do to prove that they are worthy of beating Reckoning Esports. Now with the 4-round gap, Tryouts are probably desperate at this point. They should be desperate, and they need to pull out every single trick that they have in their books to make this work. Now Easy here, along with his teammates, looking for a quick push, but the little bit of anticipation coming up from Reckoning Esports seems pretty apt, as they are all in the garden, and this is going to be a full-on push. Ghost, first member on site. Whip is going to secure that plant. Healthy, 35 seconds left, and now the timer is against the defenders. Post-plant positions are extremely important in a scenario like this, and Whip is going to join his couple of buddies on a long. Now Vexy's going to find 2. Vexy's going to find 3. And this is huge for Vexy. He finds 4. And Wimp will clean that up. Not giving Vexy the ace, but that's fine, because a round win at this point in the competition, it is crucial, as Reckoning Esports has gotten double digits on the scoreboard. But Tryouts, that is how you play attack on Ascent.
That is exactly how you play the attack, and I love the fact that Bexy actually understood that he needed to take Heaven Control, because that is what you need to do when you go into these post-plant scenarios for this A side. 3 members sitting down in Hell is never a good idea. You want 1 member to at least go up into the Heaven side, even if he dies. You wanted to try and take Heaven control, take down at least one member coming out from Heaven when you know for a fact that the players are playing for the retake scenario. Valorant is that type of game where if you play aggressively on some maps, it's gonna work out really well. And Ascent is one of those exact maps to work out in their favor. But Razor, he's gonna be chilling down on the bottom side this time around. But Ion, he's able to take out that drone to make sure that Razor has not yet been found out. But it seems that Easy, he knows his last known position. It's gonna be Ion going in with his own peaks. But Ghosty answers back on the Razor. Easy takes one onto Ion as well from the side. Easy takes out another one, being his own clone onto Trist on that short side. And the immediate push is going to be coming in, but BRZ, he has the vengeance, he's looking for blood, he's probably going to be able to fight Easy. He does get tagged out to very low HP, uses the triple tap and in his last dying breath to make sure that Rio, he has all the information in the world. Rio, he's able to take down one. And ladies and gentlemen, going into a post-plan scenario is going to be Rio. Ghost does spot him out on the hand side. Rio goes in for the jump down. He's able to take out Ghost coming in from the side. One is still coming out from the heaven angle. He does not know where he exactly is. He probably thinks he's still in market. It is going to be a fast beat coming out from Shark Game to take him out. And ladies and gentlemen, Tryouts, they're coming in back tooth and claw over and over again. And it seems as though they're having a vengeance. But Reckoning, they're fighting back so hard and so fast. I don't know who's going to win anymore.
You know, this is a pure case of what we always talk about, and that is analyzing and adapting. And now Tryouts, they are proving that they have that aspect within their team as well. So, you know, it's one thing to come into a map and be able to, you know, just pull off all the strategy that you have practiced. But it's another thing to kind of tweak it as you go along to fit the current circumstances, because all the teams that you are going to meet in the competition, they're not going to be the same. They're going to have different play styles, and this is exactly what Tryouts is doing to try and beat Reckoning Esports. Now, as the gap is definitely closing in on the scoreboard, Reckoning Esports, they've got to answer now, or it's going to be never. But I love to see it, because Tryouts, they are definitely pulling out things that we didn't expect to see in them.
Tryouts, the way that they're playing a lot of these just goes to show that they are a team that can learn how to adapt. They're learning how to play against the entirety of Reckoning Esports. It's gonna be Triz going in for a very fast play, but Vexy, he goes in for the sneaky play coming out from his side. He's able to take him out, but Ion, he returns to kill immediately, but an entire army awaits. But it's gonna be Razor going in for the split, straight through the smoke. He finds two, he finds the third, he's looking for the fourth, and Razor, he's cleaning it all up, and it's gonna be Rio coming into the Hunter's Fury to back it all up. They take away the eco round, taking it to an 8 and 11, and Razor, you had no business winning out that round from that short side. You finding that was absolutely incredible. This guy is an absolute mad lad with a lot of confidence in his name right now.
Razor there. Connecting those two headshots with the Sheriff, and then whipping out that Phantom, picking up that kill, is absolutely nuts. Razor, this was the Razor that we were waiting for. I think he has finally checked in. And let's have a quick look at the scoreboard. Trist right up there at the top. Very nicely done for the side of Reckoning. And now Ion's gonna find the first kill onto Shark. Looks like Tryouts are probably shaking a little bit, but you can't afford to panic. It is a best of 3, so Tryouts, you know, is a little bit more relaxed on their side, but it's always good to try to close out the games as soon as possible.
At the bare minimum, we are going to be seeing one pickoff coming out from the side of Reckoning, but at the same time, it seems as though Tryouts, they're in a pretty lost scenario, and again, I'm saying this over and over again, where is mid control? Tryouts, they need to try and take mid control. Without that mid control, they're just forcing themselves in such bad scenarios. It is gonna be a pain shell coming out though, coming from their side. But Ion, he's just sitting up on the heaven angle, being able to take down Wimp as well. 3 members have already gone down. So this one operator is taking it to a 3v2 scenario. But already we're gonna be seeing Easy going in for the play. But BRZ, he's way too quick with his shots, being able to take out one, and a good headshot onto Vexy to take him down. Taking it to match point now, ladies and gentlemen. 8 and 12 for the side of Reckoning Esports. They're showing what they can actually do when they have more experience down on the table.
I'm just gonna hope for a 4-round consecutive win from Tryouts, just so that we can go into overtime. I like it when games are very spicy and very close. But Reckoning Esports, you know, this is proof and evidence that
Revealing area.
they still have their head in the game. They still want to win. I mean, after a scoreline like 13-1 in map 1, it's good to see that these defenders didn't let that get to them at all. And instead, they're going to fight it out here in the competition.
They're fighting tooth and nail against Tryouts, and they're showing that, hey, even though you won that first map, doesn't mean you're gonna win this map, because this is our game, and we're gonna show you exactly why we're one of the best teams in this region, and you're gonna sit down and bow down to us. That is every single play. Like, that is any play that Team Reckoning makes. It just screams those words, saying that, hey, we know what we can do, and we're gonna show you exactly what we can do. They're bringing down so much to the table that it's really working out for them, and going into a 4v3 on this next round with very broken buys as well from the side of Tryouts. They're gonna be in a pretty bad scenario. The showstopper has been used though from the side of Vexy. He's gonna be trying to take heaven control really soon. The showstopper has been used, but Ion, he uses a dash out to get back out immediately, but he's pushing in slowly and he's pushing in fast. It's gonna be Ion coming in down with the operator. Wim takes out one, but Vexy, he answers onto Ion with just 10 HP, being able to take down the operator. Going into a 2 versus 3 retake scenario. It's gonna be Rio and BRZ. BRZ takes that first kill on the Vexy. He tries to find another one, but Sharky, he's way too quick. He's able to take him out. It's gonna be another one on the Rio, leaving Rio in a 1v1 scenario, ladies and gentlemen. 12 bullets left. He goes in for the big flash with that one play, but it's gonna be Rio coming in massive from his side. He's able to take down Sharky, and it's gonna be a match win for the side of Reckoning Esports.
Clutch.
Absolutely nuts. This brings it 1-1. Reckoning Esports, they're gonna take map number 2 for themselves. And this was really close. You know, both these teams, they fought so hard. And with a scoreline of 13-8, it is good to see that Reckoning Esports kind of picked themselves up. And this was the strength that we want to see. This is the potential that we have seen all through the tournament. And Tris there, you got to give props to him. I mean, when your controller, initiator, and your sentinel are all at the top of the board, you know that they are good at what they do, because you got to rely solely on that aim. So to talk more about it, let's head over into Relive the Moment, brought to you by Ideapad Gaming 3 Notebook, powered by 4000 series Ryzen processors, perfect for gaming and multitasking. So, you know, back onto the topic of Reckoning Esports here. Yeah, I do feel that this team is just so well-rounded, because if your duelists aren't performing, but your players who are on more supportive roles are actually able to, you know, kind of just help you out there, just pick up the ball, like, hey buddy, you're having a bad day, I'm gonna step in for you. It is very refreshing, and it is such a treat to watch, because ultimately you want a well-rounded team. And as for Trials, they did fight very hard. We did see that probably the lack of experience did get the better of them. They took a while to adapt in the second half, allowing Reckoning Esports to break up all those rounds so quickly. But we can look to see Tryouts come back with a different game plan in map number 3. What are your afterthoughts on this map too?
The main thing that I will say is that Tryouts, they had one zone, not really taking mid control, and that is something that a lot of, like, inexperienced teams have that issue when it comes to Ascent. They do not take mid control. And from the side of Reckoning Esports, them taking that mid control over and over again, but not utilizing it, just goes to show that even a top dog like Reckoning Esports, they have a lot to do, and they have a lot to learn of what they can be bringing down to the table. And especially in a lot of these backwards rounds, we just saw that over and over again, like, hey, Reckoning, you have the mid control, you're not utilizing it. Tryouts, mid is completely open, you are not utilizing it. All of those factors came into play, giving Reckoning Esports that edge, because they're the much more experienced team, as we always put it, on this certain map. And this just goes to show that, hey, Tryouts, you have something more to learn. Even if you won that first map in a very dominant fashion, you should never underestimate your opponents. And Reckoning Esports does throwing that curveball out, flashing them straight in the eye, and forcing them straight into the third map immediately, taking it to an 8-13. just goes to show that these two teams are very evenly matched, even if the scoreline doesn't state so. And going into this third map, I don't know who's going to win because the momentum is already shifted and both teams are going to be playing really seriously.
Indeed, but congratulations once again to Reckoning Esports for taking map number 2. Now we're going to prep for map number 3. It's going to be super spicy because this is a best of 3. So the team that does take map 3, they ultimately go over to the finals and they stay in the upper bracket. And the losing team, they'll be shifted to the lower bracket, but it's not the last time that you see them. So while we wait, I do have a few announcements for you guys. Do check out all the links in our description because our social media is there. We have a huge sale on LG monitors, and Series 5 registrations are now live. So grab your buddies and join in on the fun. And, we're always going to keep it going for all of you. So sit back, relax, and stay tuned. We'll be back very shortly with map 3 between Reckoning Esports and Tryouts.
I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. Let's make the most of this night. Come on, baby, take my hand. And we don't need to do the things we don't want to do. Baby, while we're young,
Velocity can feel it. Velocity have done it. 3-2. They take the grand finals and are your undisputed champions.
Shivy, he's gotta do something about it. The spike is ticking, but Rafa with the triple kill to end it off. Your champions are Team Tamelas.
Keep them cornered.
Yo, we'll spot one out. Not gonna get the kill just yet. He's spraying with
Get out of my city.
the pistol up, but Inferno changes up the position.
Let's crack them open.
Momentum shift, Reckoning Esports, they are driving with it.
Wait until I blind them to strike.
Oh guard, that angle kept on my character.
Tear them down.
Razor finds the kill, and that's gonna be a double kill. Gonna go for this push. It could be all over for Atmosphere. If Bones clutches this, it's gonna be one for the books. And there it is, Bones taken down by IQ. Reckoning Esports, they make their way over to the quarterfinals in the upper bracket.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Challenger Series 4, powered by Ideapad Gaming and AMD. We have ACT as our fiber partner and AFK Gaming as our media partner. We're back with map number 3 in this best of finals here in the upper bracket of the semifinals. It is between Reckoning Esports and Tryouts. Map 1 was taken by Tryouts, map 2 was taken by Reckoning Esports, and now map 3 will ultimately settle the score. So let's head over into the map veto screen. What are your thoughts, Aggressive, right off the bat? How do you think this is gonna pan out?
I have absolutely no clue if you ask me this. First map, very dominant performance coming out from the side of Tryouts. Second map, it was a much more problematic for them. It seems as though the experience from Reckoning Esports brought out, like, there was no way Tryout was able to understand what to do against the experience of Reckoning Esports. And going into the third map, which is Haven, a very notorious map coming out as well with those 3 sites. So I am giving the benefit of the doubt towards the side of Reckoning because they do have more experience coming out in a lot of these maps, and they have a track record coming out on Haven. They have won a lot of the maps, and whichever map they did lose, it was at a very tight scoreline. So Tryouts, they have their work cut out for them.
Now looking at both the compositions coming out, I think the first time we have seen this particular composition used time in, time out on the map Haven was by Velocity Gaming. And, it's almost like, this composition, it is tried, it is tested, and many teams like to fall back on it because, their Phoenix is just so useful coming in with those flashes. And if it's not a Phoenix, they usually kind of sub it out for a Breach. But other than that, running the 2 duelists, Phoenix and Jet, comes in handy. You have the Omen and the Cypher for a little bit of control, and the Sova as an initiator to get all that kind of information. So we can head right into the match, get this started. And this will also be a map where it's going to be a test for which team pulls off the composition much better.
Every single time when I look at these teams, they're always picking the same compositions. And you guys may ask, why not go for a raise and why opting for an actual flash when it comes to Haven?
This goes here.
There's one main reason, being the garage control. Yes, of course, we know for a fact that Raze can take very good garage control, but at the same time, how do you push in when you're on the attacking side? Having that Phoenix, make sure that you have really good garage control. And Phoenix himself can just sit down on that garage side, just hold it out for as long as he can. And on this map, there are so many corners that the Phoenix curveballs can actually take a lot of sightlines and take a lot of control when he uses these flashes, and all of these factors make Phoenix one of the best agents to go out on this map, but we are gonna be seeing the picks come out. It's gonna be Ghost taking the first one on the BRC with a well-placed headshot, forcing the entirety of Reckoning Esports back and running. The shots are gonna be raining through, coming up from the side of Wimp. He is able to spot out two members on that A long sideline, and they're just gonna be waiting it out and seeing what they can find. But with 53 seconds left on the clock, they need to execute onto a site.
Indeed. And now moving into the garage, they're just gonna back out Reckoning Esports. Man down. Iron falls as well. And it's only 3 members. Now Tryouts, they are doing relatively well here on the side of defense. Actually really
seconds
good.
left.
Considering that they did take down 2 on the side of attack. Now the discipline from the defenders, easy here. He's gonna see Triss, but Triss is just too quick. And some shots are fired. Rio will be planting that spike with less than 13 seconds to spare. Ooh, he fires away and he picks up a kill. Vexy's gonna take down Rio, and Ghost comes in with a beautiful triple to end it off. And the first round goes over to Tryouts.
That was a beautifully played round coming out from the side of Tryouts. They played it aggressive, but they played it defensive as well. And they, first of all, main thing that I will say, they played it as a team. And it seems as though, like, Reckoning Esports, they went in one by one, but no one really peeked in for those refrags. And that is what really hurt them the most. In some ways, that was a very dangerous play, I would say, coming out from the side of Reckoning, because they not playing for the trades is where it's going to hurt the most. And it seems like Tryouts, they have their mojo back. They're playing together as a team once more coming into this round. And this just goes to show that Reckoning, they have the potential, but at the same time, if Tryouts are going to be stepping it up, they're going to be bringing back their A game, this is going to be an even harder map, because on Haven, you're going for a lot of split pushes, and this is where the more disciplined team is going to be coming back into execution. It's going to be easy being able to take out 2 immediately, pushing up through that mid side. It's going to be BRZ going in for the back play. He finds one, he jumps down by accident from that railing, and he gets taken out by Wimp with the Bulldog from the back end. The first round is slowly getting in their favor. BRZ already going down. It's going to be Triss moving up into the seaside. Does spot out one member. There's the footsteps. He goes in for the spray, but the Bulldog is just way too strong. Takes him out with a well-placed headshot. And ladies and gentlemen, this force buy round for the side of Reckoning Esports didn't really work out in their favor.
Now, when you look at Haven as a map, we always see attack as the side where you can make more impact, because you're so free to set the pace, you're so free to choose the site that you want to push, and ultimately kind of trick your opponents into thinking, hey, it could be one site, but we're actually going to another. It's pretty huge. Rotations come into play, but right off the bat, Tryouts just looking very sharp here in defense. But now moving into round 3.
This goes here.
With the full buys, let's see if Trials still has the strength to defend against Reckoning Esports, and if the attackers have the brain power to devise a way to successfully attack Tryouts. But Ghost there, so many kills on the board for him, and he will be snooping on a long. Now, some of the guns carried over. Whip with the Bulldog. He comes in every single time, and it seems like that weapon never fails him, or he never fails the weapon.
Careful now.
Vink is one of those players when it comes to pure raw mechanical skill. He always comes out on top, and Vexy, an amazing hot hand to force out 2 shots. If he takes that one on the Razor, he takes that one onto Iron as well. Rio being the one to take it away. Amazing flick coming out from the side of Rio to get that headshot on the easy. But with just a Ghost, you're not going to be doing a lot against a person with full armor. And that hot hands was just so beautiful coming out from Vexy, just clearing out that cubby, forcing them into the open, and right into the waiting arms of Sharkane, just spraying them down with a Spectre, getting deja vu vibes to that very first round in Ascent.
And that will be 3 rounds for Tryouts, off to a great start. Now this is gonna be easy. Goes with the AWP. He comes in once again. Gonna take out his clone there. And Razor hit the paranoia, but still relatively safe.
I have the spike.
And Reckoning Esports. I'm not sure what the plan is here for them, but they are spread out. I think they're looking for a kill
But usually, if that doesn't work, you got to figure out a way to kind of find an opening through the usage of your abilities.
They did sell out a lot towards this B side, and already you can see that the rotations came through from the side of Tryouts. It's gonna be Razor popping out the running back to try and clear out this A side as much as possible. The side has already been cleared, and it's gonna be Razor going in for the flash peek. He tries to find one, but they're sneaking around the corners. They're able to survive just a little while longer. Wim pulls out the Hunter's Fury, does not really go for the connect, but Wim, what was that? That was an insta-lock going onto that Omen. Amazing game sense coming out from the side of Wim to know exactly where he could be, and Vexy, he's sitting on that high angle. It's gonna Wim with a shotgun and Wim with a kill on the Razor as well. Wim, what is this guy up to? This guy's absolutely a mad lad. It's gonna be Rio throwing up the shock darts to try and go for a pick. He does find one onto Ghost, but still, the spike is going to be diffused, ladies and gentlemen. And seems that the Sovas, Rio and Wim, they're gonna be feeding it all. The shock darts, the bulldog plays, these are just so beautiful. And team Tryouts, this is an absolutely new team that we didn't see in that second map.
We're coming in very beautifully, and that is how you play a Sova. Definitely one to remember as well. And Rio there with the shock darts, very nicely placed. Both shock darts did connect onto the spike. So that's a little bit of, studying and game sense there that I can very much appreciate from Rio.
This goes here.
But Tryouts here, 4 rounds in the lead.
That goes there. This is a nice.
I don't think they're gonna do
goes
everything
here.
they can in their power to not even let Reckoning take 1 round for themselves at all.
Nowhere to run.
This is where the big dogs are going to be shining, being the entirety of Tryouts. But still, it's going to be Razor going in for the very fast boots, being able to take out easy as he's trying to dodge away from the shots coming out from Rio with the Hunter's Fury. It's going to be Shark Game sitting up in this dark cover, trying to find one. Shark Game, he wants to push him through, but 4 waiting members are holding the crossfire against him, and it's going to be super dangerous if he goes in for any sort of these plays. Shark Game still waiting, trying to find out what he can, but there's not a lot of information to work on, and he needs to try and back off real soon. And ladies and gentlemen, they're just going to be creeping it out and probably going in for a save instead.
Now as the spike is ticking, Tryouts, looks like they dropped the ball here. As Reckoning Esports, a very successful attack onto the B side. And that usually isn't the easiest side to attack. Now Ghost here, going for a duel. He's going to keep himself safe from that recall bolt, but it's going to be pretty hard. What's going to happen here? He gets 1 kill. He's probably going to look for the next. He spots one. He's going to whip out that pistol, and Razor's going to take him out. But the spike does take Ion and Trist with it as it went boom.
Like, Iron and Triss were forced back into a corner just because of how Vexy and Sharkim were playing the scenario. They didn't really have anywhere to go, and the time was not in their favor to go and dodge out of the spike position. And that is also another really good play coming out from the side of Reckoning. Them dying to the spike denies a lot of the ultimate charge that Tryouts could have had if they got those kills. Denying those charge points really gives the advantage towards the favor of Reckoning in the long run, and Razor being able to take that kill off onto Ghost does go in the long run because they're bringing a lot more down to the table. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be another round on the board for the side of Tryouts to try and bring it back. It was a 4-1 moving forward. But here from this matchup, it's going to be really difficult indeed, but
now Tryouts here. Reckoning Esports getting this 1 round for themselves is really good. And Tryouts just bouncing back. Not happy that that happened at all. Now the spike making its way over to B. It's just BRZ and Rio. What are they going to do in a circumstance like this? No abilities available for BRZ. He's just got to rely on that sheer firepower that he has. He's going to take it 1 step at a time. B site. There is the links on both ends, so it does make it really hard to attack. Whereas if you go for the A or the C side, it's kind of cornered. And BRZ and Rio, they're going to go for C. Probably because of that. And moving the tracking down. Easy's going to find Rio, and Easy is just so hard to get away from.
BRZ spots Shark, but his life is gonna be lost. 5 rounds collectively for Tryouts.
This is a vengeance story coming out for the side of Tryouts, being like, hey, you guys beat us in that second map, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be going up against you, and I'm going to be bringing down my A-game in this table. And ladies and gentlemen, Tryouts are bringing out the A-game, using the Cypher cameras, using their movement to perfection. And this is what I really wanted to see, Ezzy going in for those lurking plays while allowing Sharkame to stay safe, because with these new Cypher changes, makes Cypher one of those characters that you do not really want to lurk with in comparison, because lurking with Cypher basically puts your life in danger, and in turn you're not going to be able to use your utility to its fullest potential. And Easy taking that lurk role, he knows he loves to play aggressive, he does find a lot of those picks, allowing them to do what he does best. But it's gonna be a play coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports, going a fast rush onto this A side and taking side control immediately. It's gonna be Razor getting spotted out by the Owl drones coming out from his side. Sharkame is able to take down one on the BRZ, making the trapwire is absolutely useless. Razor, he does spot out BRZ. If Razor, he does spot out the Cypher sitting up on that heaven side, but he's not going to be able to take it out. Razor going in for the taps. He finds 2 straight through the smoke, and they're not really checking his angles out right. And immediately the rush is going to be coming in through the side of Tryout. But Ion, he has those knives in hand, goes in for the right click, goes in for a secondary right click. He's not going to be able to find it. Goes in for the fake defuse. He doesn't know that the defuse is going to be playing it right through. They're playing it right through the smoke, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be a thrifty round coming out from the side of Reckoning. And that smoke play coming out from Ion and Razor was just so beautiful, chilling out in the smoke left, right, and center. This is a beautifully executed round coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports. The chaos was there, but it seems as though Reckoning Esports, they knew exactly what they were doing.
Reckoning Esports getting that second round is going to be massive, because we could see a little bit of a momentum shift. It was very well executed. We do see a lot of cloud bursts, a lot of play around the abilities, and Ghost here, unfortunately, couldn't pick up that kill. Very nicely done there by... That's gonna be a curveball dashed out by the Phoenix and Ion. He spots out multiple members. What? Do they not see him? And he's gonna take out one. Triss will secure the plant. Reckoning Esports is almost like they've got attack kind of figured out against Tryouts, and the timing is perfect. They've got to rake these up as soon as possible. It is more than halfway through the first half. Now as the spike is ticking, Tryouts, they are now under the pressure instead. BRZ, Ayad, Vexy, they're all gonna find kills, and Tryouts are down to only 2 members. Reckoning Esports definitely setting the pace here on attack. Whip looking for a kill. He did have the ultimate, but he's gonna go down to Ion. Triple kill for that Jet. Easy, last man standing. He might just go for a save, but he does spot out one. Gonna make use of that teleport, but he's gotta be careful. And he goes for the spray, but Real's just too quick. And that is gonna be the 3rd round for Reckoning Esports.
That fast execution coming out from Reckoning Esports just completely caught Tryout off guard, because the way they play that round and the map of Haven is that whenever you have that Jet, whenever you have that Phoenix, you can take a lot of these aggressive fights. You can push yourselves into the site. And if the Cypher is not properly set up in that one site, it's gonna hurt him the most, especially when it is the Jet going in for the dash updraft, taking the box control, then immediately he has the entirety of the site in his control, and Ion trusts his teammates to actually check the other corners where he would have been in the most dangerous spot. When he has that box control, he can check over any of the boxes and force out enemies. And even if he does that, he can relay the information to his teammates so they can go in for the reflag. An expertly well played run coming out from the side of Reckoning, and another fast push is going to be coming out, but Ghost, he's quick on this one to take out one, and forcing Razor in such a bad stereo. He does get caught out by the offense. It's going to be Ezzy cleaning him up, and ladies and gentlemen, they have not been able to get into the side just yet.
BRZ finding the kill onto Easy. 4v3 scenario is the B site, and we do see the spike just right outside. The Neuro Theft has been dropped. Good bit of information to be used, but Reckoning Esports down to their last 2 members. This is going to be Trist here, and he's going to look for an opportunity to get that plant. Dark cover does cover the alleyway. And Rio here just to back his buddy up. It's a 2v4 scenario. Tryouts, what are they going to do? Or is Reckoning Esports going to be able to hold this one out? Now,
playing with the timer would be the best option. We do see a backstep coming in from Vexy. And it's only a matter of time. Vexy drops the curveball. Not gonna find anyone just yet. Tris will be taking a little bit of a chill under the heaven, and Tris finds a double. Ghost is gonna get a triple, but it's a 1v2 scenario. Will Tris be able to sneak up? That's a triple. He could find a 4K and clutch this out for Reckoning Esports, and he does! It's a clutch from Tris. Beautifully done. And that is going to be Reckoning Esports looking to make it a little bit more even on the scoreboard as they're inching their way back up.
That this time around, I would say there was one main issue. That was not really using the ultimates from the side of Tryouts and Reckoning Esports. That was a well-executed run coming out from the side of Trist. He isolated every single one of these 1v1 down to perfection, and Tryouts, they were like, hey, maybe we can take a lot of these fights on our own. But Trist, he played that down to like absolute immaculate perfection, because he take those 1v1 fights, he made sure that he took Rio's contact and then converted it off into 2 kills, and immediately he stayed down on that heaven, made like no noise, giving like absolutely no indication of when he's gonna be peeking, then suddenly taking that peek and being able to take out Shark Aim, and then immediately rotating off right through the smoke to take out another kill onto Vexy. Just goes to show that he has a lot of discipline and knows how to abuse the audio to his advantage, giving him the edge in comparison to his opponents. Taking the round to a 5 and 4, it's going to be really difficult. And Tryouts, they had one key mistake, not using their ultimates properly in that round. And that is the experience gap, I would say, showing forward for the side of Reckoning.
Indeed, I do agree with that. Now, Tryouts here, coming in with the rotation very slowly, and Easy's going to get caught off guard by BRC. Shark will find the return kill, so that will be a very much even trade-off. Now, Ion looking for an opportunity. The Neuro Theft has been dropped by Tryouts. Another 1-for-1 trade. Down to this 3v3. The team that's most proficient and consistent will take this for themselves. Map number 3, it's not going to be an easy task. It's a close game indeed. Now Ghost with the Cloudburst. He's looking for the defuse, and the Hunter's Fury is going to come right out. This is Reckoning Esports buying as much time as they can, and Ghost going for the defuse. Now Vexy, he's got to successfully defend this spike, but Ghost is going to go down, and Vexy will dip out of there real quick. Reckoning Esports secure their 5th round, and we have a tie on the scoreboard. A couple of rounds more till the second half, but I like the way this is going.
This is the comeback story coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports. They're playing these post-plant situations so perfectly and using their ultimates down to the perfection level as well. Because, ladies and gentlemen, look at it like this. Like, these teams are going neck and neck, but it seems like Reckoning Esports, they have the ability usage under the back in comparison. The way they use their abilities, the way they use their smoke, everything is being used. And something that I will give as an advice to everyone that is playing Valorant, not even just competitive, always use your ultimates. You can't cycle them. Don't wait for the perfect situation. Sometimes just using your ultimates creates a lot of pressure and creates a lot of openings for your team. And when you use it, it just goes to show that, yeah, you're not afraid to use it. You have the confidence to charge it all back up. And just as I say, there's going to be another fast push coming out from the side of Reckoning. They have C-side control, and the spike is just about to go down.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Reckoning Esports, they've got the spike planted, and Ghost is going to put a dagger right into BRZ. Reckoning down to 3 members.
Blinding.
Now Easy's gonna dash out that paranoia. Wimp comes in from the back, and Izzy finds a kill. So does Ghost, and the last man standing is Trist. Well, he clutched this out once more for the boys. He's got the trigger control, and he picks up a kill, but that is not quite enough. Good effort there, but Tryouts, they manage to take that round and maintain their lead. They're not going to let Reckoning at any point try to get the lead over them.
That round could have been in Trista's favor. Of course, really good try coming out from the side of Trist, but The one thing that he could have done better in this situation is actually always kill the furthest player. Whenever you're making a trigger discipline play, you should always, and I mean always, kill the furthest player, being the Sova, and then killing the Omen. Because the Omen, he needs to make a 90-degree flick to hit you, while the Sova only needs to make a 45-degree flick. And depending on a person's sensitivity, that is a lot more difficult.
Get out of my
And
way.
the Sova would have the easier chance. If he went in for the Sova kill, he would have a higher percentage of winning that round if there was a misplay coming out from the side of Easy. But at the same time, those are like potato, potatoes, tomato, tomatoes. All of those things come into play. But at the same time, a really good try coming out from the side of Reckoning. And Tryouts, they were able to get that up. They were able to try and get that upper hand on that side, and they were finally able to find that. But at the same time, let us see what they're going to be bringing out to the table this time around. It is going to be Reckoning going for another fast foot instead of the rotation plays, and goes! He comes in massive with that operator being able to take that initial kill off onto Ion. Razor, though, he inserts back with his own kill, getting a kill onto Wimp. Spike is going to be going down with Trish at the helm of it all. He does find that spike plant going into the close plant situation. It's gonna be Reckoning Esports, but Easy, he's shutting it all down, leaving Trist again back in such a bad scenario, but a very fast retake coming out from the entirety of Tryouts to clean up the last few remaining members. And an expertly played round coming out from them.
And that is a wrap for the first half. Ending it off 7-5. Tryouts with the 7 rounds for themselves, Reckoning with 5. And I would say that, you know, on paper, attack is supposed to be the stronger side. But when it comes to teams, you know, anything can happen. Tryouts just look so comfortable there on the side of defense. But now the true test will be if Tryouts is able to set the pace on the side of attack. And how is Reckoning Esports, with all their collective experience, how are they going to stop Tryouts right in their tracks? Now, we do see many ghosts coming up. Just one light armor for one member of each side. And this could be anybody's round to take, but ultimately securing this first round in the second half, it is going to put you and your team on a very good foot.
This round is going to be one of those deciding factors for the momentum shift of this entire game, but Easy and Razor being able to take off 1 kill each goes in for the trade plays. 4 versus 4 is the scenario. It is going to be Vexy getting tagged down pretty low from his side, but he's going to be able to move forward nonetheless. And ladies and gentlemen, this is where they need to start showing themselves off. Reckoning Esports, if they lose this round, they're going to be an even larger deficit, because they're going to be probably forced onto an eco or into a forced buy round. But I'm pretty sure that Tryouts, they're expecting a forced buy round if they lose this round. But Ion, he goes in for the patient play, is able to take out Wimp, and he does have 25 HP to his name, extra 25 HP to his name as well, because he was buying that armor for himself. But Trist, he comes in with a massive fast play. He's able to take out one and Easy. He needs to find one, goes in right through the smoke for a smoke play, but the entirety of the other teammates were way too quick, and Reckoning Esports, they're able to answer back, get that spike defuse and the pistol round for themselves. 7-6 is the scoreline moving forward into this next round. So it's either Tryouts go for a buy round, or they actually go for a save round. And I would opt to go off for that buy round, because they were at the bare minimum were able to get 2 kills, which would allow them to go forward into this buy round and actually make it worth it. Because Valorant, like, when you talk about going for buy rounds, the only time you should go for buy rounds after losing the pistol round is actually if you'd get a kill or 2, and then you can, like, cushion the fact into the next round to actually buy some more guns, even if you lose that round.
Yeah, the force buys are real. And Tryouts, they will be lingering very close to the seaside. 2 members on the side of defense station and garage, so the rotation can be very quick. We do see the response, the hot hands coming in from that Phoenix. Now Ghost hit with the paranoia, down to 3 HP. He is pretty low and has got to keep himself safe. But Tryouts, they are on site, and Shark is the lurker. He will take down Ayan, and Razor's gonna look for revenge, as Trist will be taking the angle from garage. We do see BRZ coming out from defender side spawn. Now, this is the way you go for a retake. Trist is gonna fight Easy, who is gonna come out on top. Razor, Rio, they all got kills. Vexy's gonna find one, but Rio takes down Vexy, and there's a spray from Shark, but is he gonna make it? He does take down Triss and Rio with a very good bit of defense for his buddy there. And I really like the way Reckoning Esports approached that round. We saw a member coming from defender side spawn from Garage, and also yeah, from defender side spawn and Garage. Now, when you spread out your defenses and you attack from different angles, it makes it very difficult for the attackers in their post-plant positions. And what more, Tryouts didn't exactly spread themselves out in the best way possible. They were just caught off guard, they were caught in crossfires, and ultimately, you know, that was a round for the defenders to take. But that is going to force the attackers into an actual eco round, since it was a force buy. And let's see how this pans out, if they can get a thrifty round. Or if not, you know, Reckoning Esports, they're going to definitely push their advantage.
Reckoning Esports, they are on that winning foot for their side, but after that, force by round, they're going to be forced onto an eco for the side of Trials, and Razor, he's going in right through the smoke, golden for the spray, being able to take out 3. It's going to be Razor though, chiming in from his side as well, being able to take out Vexy, leaving only Shark aim, but Razor, when he has that Sheriff, his aim reigns true, and he's able to find that headshot to clean up the last remaining member from the side of Tryouts, making it a 7 and 8 for the side of Reckoning. They have their mojo back, and the momentum is already shifted.
That goes there.
Oh, Razor here, triple kill, and then he ends it off with the 4K. Very nicely done. But that was a round with just, you know, 4 kills, Razor, 1 BRC. Reckoning Esports, we can see that they're in a very good headspace. The momentum is definitely swinging, and they do find the lead this time. Now, Tryouts, they've got to scramble and try to pick up the pieces here. But looking at the whole composition, I do feel that both teams are utilizing it to their best ability. I would like to see a little bit more rotations though. I do think that Trials is lacking that just a little bit. They only rotate before they enter enemy territory, and sometimes, you know, you gotta make a little bit of ruckus, you gotta go for a few gun duels, but at the same time keep the player that is carrying the spike behind, and, you know, the IGL call for that rotation when the time is right, when you know that the defenders are making their way over a site could be potentially free. So now Tryouts moving in from the middle area of the map, looking at the B site. Do see Rio, he is lurking, and Whip is just gonna dash out that recon bolt. It should get some information. Whip with the shock dart, he's gonna pick up the kill onto Rio. Very nicely played, and he is gonna go for the spike plant. He's gotta rely on his teammates to back him up, but the spike has been planted before he went down. 3v3, Ghost is gonna find a double, and this is massive for his team as BRZ fights easy. Cypher and Jet, 2v2, Tryouts. They can look to even it out. BRZ inching his way in, and Ghost will find a triple. BRZ gets a return kill, and it's down to a 1v1, 10 HP for BRZ.
It's going in for them plays. BRZ squaring it off, but Shark game, he's way too quick with his own reflexes, being able to get that headshot onto being able to take that headshot onto BRZ to close it all out. And Tryouts, they are coming in back 8 and 8 on the scoreboard. Both teams are going back and forth, left, right, and center, going up against the juggernaut that is Reckoning Esports and Tryouts at this point. I don't know who's going to be winning. Tryouts, they had such a dominant performance on that attacking half now, sorry, on the defensive half. Now that Reckoning Esports have already found out how Tryouts are playing, this is just getting even more difficult. Like, I have no predictions. Awful. It's all up to you now, because I have no clue who's going to be taking this. But from what we see coming forward into this round, it is going to be Ion getting the first pick off with that operator moving forward. And ladies and gentlemen, they're going to be slowly trying to swarm back into this inside Tryouts. They're trying to force it out as much as they can, but Haven, a map that is well known for its rotation plays, not really even playing for this rotation. They're trying to force out a lot of these aim duels, because Tryouts, of course, as I say before, over and over again,
Spike
they
planted.
love to play for a lot of these aim duels. They have a lot of confidence in their aiming capabilities, but at the same time, when you are playing a map that is based around rotations, that is what you should be doing. But already we're seeing a very smart play coming up from the side of Tryouts, sending Wim back. He has the Hunter's Fury. He can play for the post-ban scenario. And of course, there is gonna be a Ghost with his Blade Storm being able to go for the double updraft from the log side, like, you know, the concrete boxes, to go up there and take control if they try to touch on the spike. They have two forms of going into a post plant and holding down the spike at the same time. So it seems that, yeah, Reckoning recognizing that they're going to be going in for the save. They have all went down into the seaside, holding their corners and just waiting it out. 9 and 8 is the scoreline, and Tryouts, they have the momentum in their favor because it's going to be a very, let's say, broken buy for the side of Reckoning Esports for the two members that did die.
Indeed, and you know, now this is where it's all down to the wire. We had two maps prior to this. Tryouts, dominant performance, 13:1. And then Reckoning Esports takes map 2, 13:8. So you know that, you know, Reckoning Esports, they have the fight in them. They came back from map 2 and they weren't going to let anything be as devastating as map 1. So here, right now, the scoreline 9:8. It could be anybody's map. And honestly, aggressive, I love to see it because it is the semifinals. We want to see teams go head-to-head and really fight it out. Now, Razor here on the Phoenix this time. Usually on the Raze, but, you know, here on Haven, Phoenix is very useful with the curveball, hot hands, and even that firewall does allow some control for yourself and your team. Now, Tryouts spreading themselves out. We do see Reckoning Esports definitely sticking very much close to one another. This is a little bit of a strategy coming out. Razor will be watching the entrance to the A site, but Tryouts, they've got a little bit more of a different plan, and they gotta be smart about this. So the flash combo with the Jet Phoenix, and Ion's gonna find a kill onto Ghost. Rio takes down Vexy, and Reckoning Esports, they kept themselves close. The Tryouts have a clue at all. And Rio firing away with the Hunter's Fury.
Oh,
Not
no.
gonna find the kill, but he does take down a significant amount of health. Now the hot hands flies in, and Razor burns Shark to a pulp. Reckoning Esports, they had a plan to stick close, and they were gonna place their bets on the C site. So that was really smart, and I like that. I love the fact that Reckoning Esports did that, and now they are even on the scoreboard again. So that round, you know, I'm very much impressed.
This is just a back and forth coming out from both of these teams. And I love the fact that Tryouts, they played it for the retakes. That is what you should do when you're on that C side. Never try to force down control on the C side, because there are 3 angles you can actually push from when you're on the defensive side. And you have a lot of, and if you have a lot of utility in your favor, you can use that utility to break into the sites and take it over. That is the beauty of Haven. There are only a couple of sides that you want to hold. Being only the A side, you want to hold it down and not give away control, because on that is one of the only sides that is going to be really hard to break into if your opponents have very good post-line scenarios. But on the C side, you have Garage, you have CT, you have Long, 3 angles and very open sidelines to try and take over all of these sides, and Reckoning Esports were able to utilize it to its fullest potential, catching Tryouts off guard, using their abilities properly, were able to take that round away. And the scoreline is going to be 9 and 9. But Oppo, I have to ask you this: with both of these teams going back and forth, I don't think that this can either go into an overtime, or I think that one of these teams are holding something back that they're probably going to be bringing out when it comes to, let's say, the 11th or the 12th round.
You know, it could be, because sometimes teams, you know, they have a few tricks in the bag, but considering the pressure, Tryouts is relatively new. This is their first time debuting as a team here in the Challenger Series 4. I don't think they might keep anything to last. You know, Tryouts, they might just put everything in. You know, for them to make it this far, I'm pretty sure they will want to hold on to it. If anything, I do feel that, you know, both these teams might have a spark or a quick bit of revelation on what they can actually do to beat their opponents. But overall, I do think that both teams has put everything out on the line. Reckoning Esports, you know, kind of grouping up together that last round, I think it was on the fly. I think, you know, the IGL was just like, hey, let's just do this. I'm pretty sure they're going to go for the seaside since, you know, their plants are way more successful there. We can get the frags really quick. They're not going to expect it. And it kind of worked out. But this time, it is going to be Tryouts pushing for the A side. Dark cover up in heaven. Very good bit of control. And Razor's going to find the kill onto Vexy. And this could be massive. Now Triss, he's spraying away and not going to connect the bullets. Razor's going to find a third kill onto Ghost. He is saving this round. And Shock takes down one. But Triss is there to return. It's all down to Wimp. And Triss finds a double. Very nice retake from Reckoning Esports. This is just confidence that we know Reckoning Esports has. And we saw it lacking in map 1. We saw the confidence come back in map 2. And now we're seeing more of it as this match progresses, because Tryouts definitely started out with more confidence. Now Reckoning Esports, it's almost like, you know, now they believe in themselves, and this is the kind of clean gameplay that we know they are capable of pulling off time in and time out.
This is a nice.
They love to play it as a team, and that's what I really wanted to see. Reckoning Esports at the very beginning stages, as you stated before, not really having a lot of confidence. They have that confidence, and they're actually working together as a team, allowing them to take that one up against Tryouts. And it seems as though Tryouts, they're trying to force themselves into, in a lot of these situations, for themselves to win. But forcing yourself against Reckoning Esports, it's like just banging your head against a wooden wall that you're trying to break slowly, but you're hurting yourself more in the process. And this is what Reckoning Esports is going to be using against you. They're trying to force yourselves into their own comfort space, into their own territory, and that is what's hurting them the most. Already one member has gone down from the side of Tryouts, being the Cypher, so no one really to lurk, no one really to flank watch, and no camera to spot out the enemies. They have one less way of gathering intel, and ladies and gentlemen, going into a 5 versus 4 with only 50 seconds left on the clock, they need to try and execute onto a site right now.
Cage triggered.
Tryouts, they might have dropped the ball, because Reckoning Esports, they are thriving right now. And Trist, he's just gonna take a seat there on the C site. Tryouts, they do get the spike planted, and now it is time to react. Triss, however, I think he might just pop the ultimate instead, but BRZ, he finds the double, and Izzy's gonna take out Razor. BRZ gets the triple, and Ghost just puts a dagger right into his head. You are not gonna take me. Ghost with a quick pullback. 1v3, Rio's going for the defuse. He does not have the time, and this is a round for Reckoning Esports as they put a 2-round gap between themselves and Tryouts.
Like, remember what I told you about one of these teams probably have like something up their sleeves that they're probably gonna pull out at the very end of it all? It seems as though Reckoning have dropped the ball already, and they're like, yep, time for our streak and strategy, time for all of our confidence, all of our hard work, and all of our passion to pour into these plays that we are going to be making now together as a team. 11-9 is the scoreline, and they're looking to close it all down to 12-9, but the operators and the guns are already in their favor. Ion going in for a very fast peek with Rio on his back to help him out, but still he's not able to find anything, but he does get some information at the very least. Reigns are going in with a flash play, is able to take out Ghost, immediately uses the run it back to go in for a play for himself as well. Doesn't push out. He had to run it back, but he still didn't want to go for it through the hot hand.
I know
but it's gonna be Triss answering back on a 2, taking it to a 4 versus 2, ladies and gentlemen. But Charcade, he's able to take him out at the bare minimum, but at the same time, with only 2 members and a very angry squad of people waiting on the other side, it is gonna be Ion being able to take out Charcade with the help of Rio with that shock dart, and Razor spraying straight through the garage walls, are able to take out the last remaining member, being Sharking. And this was such a well-played round coming out from side of Reckoning. They played it with confidence, they played it slowly, and they just backed the entirety of Tryouts in a corner and forcing them to play into their hands every single time. And this is the level of play that I expected coming out from Reckoning Esports, and they were for sure holding back against Tryouts, because in the previous rounds, we didn't really see this, but they've already found a way of how to bait Tryouts into them. They have a strategy saying that, okay, maybe this time we play it in a very bait style, this time we play it very slowly. Then suddenly they just pick up the momentum and be like, hey, Razor, going through mid garage right now, and then just flash out and you're gonna be able to get a ticket. All of the callouts are coming in. Team Reckoning, they are playing in a very different manner. They're playing for those communication plays. They're playing for those very systematic plays. And that is what's giving them the win.
Cage triggered.
All right, and now it's match point for Reckoning Esports. BRZ is going to be caught off guard and Tryouts. They've got to hang on to everything. They know that everything is on the line, so they might as well just do what they can. Very quick attack onto the seaside, and now we do see a couple of members pull back, but Shark is going to get a double, not a triple this time, and Trist does pick him up. 3v2 scenario, Razor's going to pop the curveball. Little bit of health and armor missing, but not too much cause for concern. Razor spots one, Wimp gets the return kill, and that is Tryouts finding double digits. Now this is what usually happens when teams are hanging by a thread. It's kind of like they just go all out. They're like, hey, we have nothing to lose. We did what we can. Why not just go balls to the walls, just put it all out there? And usually it works because the confidence is very much present. Now, Reckoning Esports, we do see their experience definitely shining through. They're able to, you know, keep themselves more composed, pick up these rounds. And what's really interesting is that both Reckoning and Tryouts definitely fared better on the side of defense, where we usually see teams thrive on attack. So, you know, I like this diversity. I like the difference when it comes to spectating all these teams here in the TEC Challengers Series. And Challengers Series 4 has just gotten more and more interesting. This time, Tryouts, they're looking at the A site, not B, not C. They are very ready. They're parked in A short, they're parked in A long, but look at the mini-map as there is a little bit of a backstab coming out. It might just be Razor trying to be sneaky, but he did think to take a different turn. But Razor, let's just watch if he's going to be able to catch Tryouts by surprise.
I'm pretty sure that one of them heard the footsteps, because Razor, he made a lot of noise coming into here, but they're not really going to be checking this corner just yet. Razor playing it smart, playing it slow. He's going to be holding it down. It's going to be Trist going down from the hands of Vecti. Wim taking one as well. Iron, though, answers back with his own kill, with that operator being able to take out Sharkem. Easy answering on to that flanker coming in from the back lane, leaving it into a 2 versus 4, ladies and gentlemen. And it seems as though this is going to be one of those rounds that they need to try and hold off. And this needs to be a save because they have that operator in hand. And in this next round, they're not going to be able to buy anything for their teammates if they don't opt for the save. They just get caught out. It is going to be easy going in for the flag. He gets the last 2 kills. And ladies and gentlemen, Tryouts, they take it all away from the side of Reckoning Esports. And they're looking to go into overtime, ladies and gentlemen. This is the do or die situation for the side of Tryouts. And Reckoning Esports, it's for them to close it out, because I do not believe that Reckoning will have enough stamina moving forward, because Tryouts, they're getting better and better every second, and if this momentum pace continues, Reckoning Esports, they're going to be in a pretty bad scenario.
Easy was magnificent that round. He turned, the moment that Tryouts reached the site, he turned around, took out the backstabber, which was Razor, and still hunted for the last 2 members of Reckoning Esports and picked and secured those kills. Easy, who is he? He's a sub. But he came in here showing us that, hey, I'm in the semifinals. I'm going to play for Tryouts. And I'm going to show you that I'm not going to waste this opportunity. And I really like that. Now, it could be over for Tryouts right here, right now. Reckoning Esports could close it off. Or Tryouts could bring it into overtime. Now, it's going to be entirely up to both these teams to fight it out. I'm not going to say what I hope for. Let's just pull up the scoreboard really quickly before any action happens. Goes to 21 kills, Razor with 23. And that is Duelist there doing their job. Trist going to pop that ultimate, get a little bit of info. Not much. But Reckoning Esports, they're going to stick to their battle positions. Now, do take note that C site is relatively empty. And Tryouts might just have actually
30
planned
seconds
this one
left.
out. Now they're going to see.
And it seems like Reckoning Esports smells like something's a little bit fishy, but here's the full-on attack. It could be the last round for the attackers. Now Tryouts is on site. The dark covers, the cloud bursts, they're all coming out. Reckoning Esports are scrambling.
Spike
Less than
planted.
15 seconds and the spike gets planted. Now the timer is against defense. Rio just gonna make himself known here in the garage. He's gonna keep a close eye out. It's all down to accuracy. And Vexy's gonna pick up a kill. So does BRZ. 1-for-1 trade is not enough. Many people are still left alive, and Ion's gonna pick up Ghost. That is very much useful. Whips out the blade, Storm, and removes that tracking dart. He's gonna raid from above. He picks up a kill.
Oh my god!
Rio, that is a wrap. Reckoning Esports, they are gonna take the semi-finals and keep themselves in the upper bracket and move over to the finals. That is Reckoning for you. They might just be your new comeback kings.
Literally, those comeback kings. They went from a 1-13 loss to a 9-13 win, and now a 11-13 win coming it out to close it away from the side of Tryouts. They are showcasing that they are a team to be taken seriously in this matchup, and they're looking to take away this championship. But don't not forget, ladies and gentlemen, I know how big of fans you are of Tryouts, so they are going to be moving down in the lower brackets. They still have that chance to move forward against the juggernauts that are Reckoning Esports. It is going to be Razor leading the charge with 279 ACS, 23 kills to his name. He was an absolute beast when it came onto this Phoenix, and this just goes to show what he's bringing down to the table.
All right, guys, that was such an explosive best of 3. Now, we're going to talk all about it. We're going to gloss through it. I hope you guys stay here. We're going to move into Relive the Moment, brought to you by Ideapad Gaming 3 notebook, powered by 4000 series Ryzen processors, perfect for gaming and multitasking. Now, this best of 3 was one heck of a ride. We went into all 3 maps. We watched Tryouts just come into this BO3 on Bind, the first map, dominant performance, 13-1. And it got us thinking, what happened to Reckoning? What was going on? And Reckoning came back in map 2 and showed us that, hey, all of you know that Ascent is our playground. We're going to take this one. And the scoreline was 13-8. They come back into map 3 and take it 13-11. Now, Tryouts as a brand new team, they performed phenomenal. Absolutely brilliant. So for Tryouts, I feel like in a sense that they've achieved something of their own. They don't maintain the win streak, but they have definitely put their names out there. And I'm very sure that a lot of you will definitely take a liking to Tryouts, because I certainly have. So big ups to Vexy, Wimp. I believe Wimp is the IGL. Insane ability to kind of analyze and adapt. It was very nice to watch Tryouts, but ultimately Reckoning Esports being able to compose themselves to take what was such a devastating loss in map 1 and translate it into just a team that has their head in the game. They know what they want, and they stayed very much focused. So Reckoning Esports, congratulations for winning this semifinals. You guys move over to the finals and secure a spot in the top 4. Absolutely unbelievable. I am, in a loss of words, so many great highlight clips, and specifically Razor, you stepped up so much in map 3 on that Phoenix. Jigglypuff, I don't know, now he's spicy. Now he's all about that fire on that Phoenix. What are your afterthoughts here, Aggressive?
That is such a true fact. And Reckoning Esports, this was such a well-deserved win. They fought hard, they put up their strategies, they worked together as a team, and that is what we wanted to see coming out from them. They grew as a team coming out of this match, and that is what you should be doing. Every single loss, every single win should be a stepping stone for you into the next title. And Tryouts, even if you lost this match, you put up a really good fight. You made Reckoning Esports try their hardest. You put them against the wall, and even if you still lost, you can use this to go and step further in. There were only one small thing that I will give you as advice, is that play with the team and then play with the map as well, because in a lot of these scenarios you're trying to force yourselves into Tryouts, force yourselves into Reckoning Esports, every single time, and you failed in a lot of those scenarios. So maybe going for the rotations plays, playing in for the trades would have been just a better play itself.
I do think the experience will definitely do trials very well. But guys, remember to like and subscribe. Click that bell icon because we can still catch trials in the lower bracket of the semifinals, and you don't want to miss that. But ultimately, congratulations once again to Reckoning Esports for winning this best of three semifinals, moving over to the finals. Today was a great day. It was such good games. Now, remember, this is only the first half, and we will have the second half kicking off at 7 p.m. So like and subscribe, bell icon, you know the drill. And do check out the links in the description. Follow our socials. We have very regular updates on the tournament. We also have a massive sale on LG monitors, and Series 5 registrations are now live. So grab your buddies and join in on the action next month. That's when Series 5 will kick off. So that is all for the first half here today. Thank you all for joining us. It was a pleasure casting for you guys. My name is Apollonia, your host and caster, and joining me, thank you, Aggressive, caster, and analyst. And we hope to see you guys in the second half, kicking off at 7 p.m. So don't go anywhere. We hope to see you guys come back. Take care and happy gaming.
day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. Let's make the most of this night. Come on, baby, take my hand. And we don't need to